Down, he's going to lateral it back. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Collins. Alex has got room at the 30, 25, 20. Collins at the 15, cuts back at the 10. This game's still alive, and the Hogs have a first down. Hunter Henry lateraled it back over his head, Keith, and we're still playing football.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You are causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
It's a Toyota Tuesday here on The Morning Rush. Kevin Cox yesterday was named Collegiate Baseball Newspaper, not just Pitcher of the Week, but National Player of the Week. And I want to talk about how good this guy actually is. Clay Henry is going to be joining us at 7 o'clock. The publisher of Hogs Illustrated wrote a really good piece, talked to Norm DeBryan about who he reminds him of. Kevin's been unbelievable nails this season for Arkansas. We'll discuss him coming up throughout the program. The NFL draft is Thursday. Nick Saban had a pretty good quote on evaluating talent, the and, the but, how GMs, how executives, how scouts go about determining, hey, should we draft this guy or not? I think there was a really good soundbite that we'll get to coming up in the program. Chuck Parrott is going to be joining Trusting the Process today. Really excited about that. And I want to know from you all this morning, what do you want to know about Chuck? What should I ask to Chuck? I'm really excited about this interview coming up later in the program. We'll also ask Clay what he thinks about Arkansas's NFL prospects as well. Now, before we get going, I want to credit our Morning Rush listeners for being dead on yesterday, Tommy, because it was, in fact, our heating element in our dryer that we had to order yesterday and get shipped. When we asked the question, hey, why is this not working?
Well, yeah, I mean, the dryer was running, but it wasn't getting hot. I mean, it didn't take an audience to figure that one out. I mean, well, I'm glad you figured it out.
It can be a variety. It could have been a variety of different things.
Well,
but the Morning Rush, I don't know.
Okay.
You didn't know what it was.
Well, what makes the heat in the dryer, young man?
You didn't.
The heating element.
You didn't know what it was.
I knew exactly what it was. It was pretty obvious.
I asked you what it was. You didn't know, and I asked, and then our Morning Rush listeners came in and said that. I didn't know. I was just happy our Morning Rush.
I wouldn't know how to fix it though. I'd have to find each side, and that would be beyond me.
So I went to a laundromat yesterday for the first time since we had bed bugs in our house when I was a senior. Have you ever had to deal with bed bugs before?
No.
It is not a pleasant experience.
No, but
it stinks.
When you have little kids and they go to daycare and they go to preschool, you will have head lice at some point, and the routine and the process it's much similar.
Have you ever had lice before?
Have I? Not that I'm aware of. So
I don't think
but anytime you go through
knock on wood, I don't
kids,
think I've either.
You got to deal with it.
So
you got to wash everything.
Have the youngins had it then, I'm assuming?
Oh, when they were in preschool, I mean, it's you deal with that all the time when you're in daycare.
My brother and I did have it back in the day when we were at First Presbyterian preschool, but I don't.
Just part of having youngins happens.
So where do you want to start out this morning besides the heating element?
The heating element. I'm glad you got that. You get it fixed. Did y'all fix it yourself though?
Roommate's brother came in, who's an electrician.
Went to the bullpen, huh?
Helped with it. So we had to order a special part from Home Depot yesterday. We couldn't just fix it, unfortunately.
All right. Well, so you're not back in business yet.
No, I did that, and I wanted to make sure I did the laundry and before I head to Baton Rouge this weekend, so I have some clean clothes, which they'll probably get dirtied and muddied up down there in the bayou. But
yeah,
I managed to get that done yesterday.
All right. Let's start with Kevin Cops this morning. I mean, to me, the NFL draft's interesting, but it's very limited with a Razorback tie-in because unless we're going to talk late Friday, Saturday, and probably more like Saturday, there's not a lot of Razorback news with the NFL draft. And I think all the conversation around the draft right now is, Lawrence or Fields. Who's going first? What's going to happen at the top? So I don't know how interesting that is to the mass of our audience, just because it's not our guy or even really someone necessarily from our conference.
To me, there's really no even intrigue till pick number 3 for the Giants, because for all intents and purposes, the Jags are going to draft Trevor Lawrence, the Jets are going to draft Wilson, and Fields has plummeted. His draft stock, for whatever reason, has gone way down. It's not even a Lawrence Fields conversation. It's you don't even, and this is all smoke and mirrors. If you haven't picked this up over the years, this is lion season amongst NFL executives, and when they tell reporters, tell media and stuff, it's really hard to nail down what guys like John Lynch, who's the GM of the San Francisco 49ers, and Kyle Shanahan, who's the head coach there, what they're actually thinking about this upcoming draft.
Well, whatever they think, they say something else because they think they're throwing off the scent. I think it's just part of the game with these guys right now. So, but I guess Kevin Kopps, was it what was it co-pitcher? Well, there were so many awards handed out.
SEC co-pitcher
of the week, but National Player of the Week. So and people were all up and I still have yet to really figure out why we care about this Player of the Week and co-Player of the Week stuff and get so I just see such a visceral reaction from some, particularly those in the media, and I guess it's just red meat tweets and trying to get people to like you and follow you more and, hey, look how passionate I am. Is it really that big a deal?
Do you think interns are actually the ones that come? I know you say that, but do you think?
I just don't think it's that big a deal with the SEC office.
Arkansas
I don't think
fans,
it's that big a deal. I mean, I thought Ruskin made a great point with this yesterday, and it's kind of how I felt about it for a while, too, is why are we worried about this? You're the number one baseball program in America right now. Why are you worried about a little conference weekly award? Why are we getting so upset about being the co-player of the week when you're living the high life as the unanimous number one baseball program again? There's a lot more to be focused on than you think your pitcher got jobbed out of half of an award or whatever. So.
Well, was Arkansas baseball won a national championship?
Nope.
I still think there's a little.
Is Arkansas one of the elite programs in America, though?
Yes, but until they do that, you can't say. And that's when I always, as good as Dave Van Horn is as a baseball coach, and he'd tell you this straight up too. He's not the best, and Arkansas fans will tell me he's the best baseball coach in the SEC. He's the best in the country. You can't be that until you win a national championship, and he knows that. And he would tell you, he would get on this radio show and tell you that. When you think about Kevin O'Sullivan at Florida, you think about Tim Corbin at Vanderbilt, some of the other coaches across college baseball who have won that national championship. And I think, like, Dave once won bad. You hear it in our promo that you hear on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com every single day that he still has that burning desire to get this university national championship. That, I think, plays into the fact whenever, like last week when Matt Goodhart had better stats statistically in every single category than that Alabama kid, and the Alabama kid won SEC Player of the Week. I don't know if a guy wins National Player of the Week, if the SEC's like, we need to just award someone else. I don't know how they go about doing that, but Arkansas fans, they're always going to stick up for. I'm never going to get mad at Arkansas fans for sticking up for their guys. I'd rather them be too passionate than underpassionate or underwhelming. So I'm never going to criticize an Arkansas fan for being too passionate when it comes to an award like this.
I think we got to prioritize our passion. Player of the Week is not does not rise to the level of other awards. I mean, at the end of the day, you do have the number one team in the country right now. So I think some of this we need to relax on a bit. I think some of it's just bluster and we want to go over the top because it's seemingly that way every time. But I mean, I'm going to tell you this league got a lot of good players to. I was looking at those stats through all the players that were kind of up for it. Phil had tweeted something out. Man, that's hard to choose from between all those guys because all of them had a worthy case.
Yeah, a lot of dudes in the SEC baseball circuit. All right, coming up, we will dive into what Nick Saban said yesterday. And again, what do you want to know about Chuck Barrett, the voice of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
So, you upgraded to the elevated ride of the 2021 Toyota Highlander.
New Highlander, Mr. D?
Yeah, figured it was time for something nicer, more refined.
Look at this thing. I mean, that moonroof is pretty sweet.
It's extremely stylish.
That's not all. As you can see, it has leather seats, dual-zone climate control.
And comes with all the latest tech.
And Android Auto. Check out this 12.3-inch touchscreen. Great for navigation, hands-free communication, music.
Awesome.
The Highlander also has loads of space and even a third-row seat.
Did I see 5 USB ports?
You sure did, buddy.
Perfect place for your daughter's new boyfriend.
This is so embarrassing.
Elevate every ride in the new 2021 Highlander.
Get $1,500 customer cash, or qualified lessees can lease a new 2021 Highlander L for only $279 a month for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at toyota.com for feature availability. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and end 5/3/21.
Wheels RV in Springdale wants you to seek out all the Natural State has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. 5 miles west of I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This Earth Day, you can go green with AOG paperless billing and enter for a chance to win $250. While signing up, you can also take advantage of other AOG payment and billing options like online payment, average monthly, and automated bill payment. Visit AOGC.com between April 22nd and May 22nd to sign up for paperless billing and be entered to win $250. Then like AOG on Facebook to double your chances.
Game Time Energy, lifetime experience. Learn more about Buffalo Wild Wings and why it's a great place to work. Apply today at workthe4wings.com. You'll be working with the hottest brand around and having tons of fun doing it. Welcome to the big time.
Join the winning team at Buffalo Wild Wings. We are hiring. Apply now at workthe4wings.com. Competitive pay, team member discounts, flexible schedule, insurance options, incentive contests, and much more. Work where every day is game day. Roar!
I chose Ashley Air just because I've always wanted to work for the best. I asked a lot of folks at my church who the best heat and air company is, and 90% of the people I talked to said Ashley was the best. So I wanted to work for the best.
Great things are happening at Ashley Air. We're looking for skilled service and installation technicians for our Fort Smith and Northwest Arkansas locations. We're willing to pay the right person up to $5,000 in hiring bonuses. To apply online, visit our website at ashley.air.com.
ashley.air.com.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
It's spring cleaning sale time at Jelco Outdoors. Save up to 75% off on selected clothing items. Summer and winter clothing for men, women, and children. Look for the orange clearance stickers with racks lined with savings. Footwear and archery items are included in the big spring clearance sale, going on now until it's gone. The boss says let's clear the racks during the spring cleaning sale at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Frank Row Furniture is having an April Super Stimulus and Tax Refund Sale. Save hundreds of dollars. Sofas, loves, sectionals, and recliners, all made in the USA. Big savings for our finance customers and extremely large savings on cash sales. Family owned, in-store no credit check financing, and service after the sale. Frank Row Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
The biggest selection, the best values, and more for your trade at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. No one beats the selection at Harry Robinson, with over 500 vehicles of all makes and models in stock today. Some as low as 500 miles, many less than 10,000 miles with full factory warranty. Pre-owned trucks, SUVs, and great vehicles of all makes and models are ready now at Harry Robinson. When the other dealers don't have it, Harry does. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Moses gives it away to Sills. They reverse it left side. Note. Three-pointer good.
You're home for Razorback baseball all season long right here. HitThatLine.com.
LSU series this weekend down Baton Rouge. Really excited about that upcoming these baseball games. Speaking of LSU, former Louisiana State University head football coach Nick Saban, now at Alabama, had some interesting comments about the NFL draft. Some that I think would be a good conversation starter, and we'll dive into it just coming up.
All right, in just a moment. Brought to you by NWA Gold and Silver, Bentonville, Fayetteville, and in Fort Smith as well. If you've got gold or silver items you'd like to turn to cash, they can do that for you at NWA Gold and Silver. We've been telling you for weeks now about the high price of gold, and why not take those gold items like broken, worn-out jewelry you've not worn in 10, 12, 15 years, items that are out of style. Hey, they can take those and turn them into cash for you at the high price of gold right now. You'll find NWA Gold and Silver at 1130 North Walton in Bentonville, Nelson's Crossing by Jason's Deli in Fayetteville, and on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. They also buy and sell diamond engagement rings, diamond earrings, necklaces, pendants. So whatever you're looking for, they have those as well. That's NWA Gold and Silver, Bentonville, Fayetteville, Fort Smith. The people that pay the most.
There was Nick Saban's comments yesterday on just the ands and the buts.
And I tell our players all the time, the two most compelling words in the draft report is and but. All right, so they read the player, and I'll take a defensive back. All right, he's got quick feet, change of direction, good long speed, can play man-to-man. He's a good tackler. He's got toughness. He's got really good ball judgment and really good ball skills. And he's a good person. He was a leader on the team. He graduated from school. Coaches loved him. Read the same player, but he had a positive drug test. He had a domestic violence incident with his girlfriend. Got in a fight in a bar when he was a freshman. Who do you want on your team? And or but? What I tell players is you don't realize as soon as you put your name in for the draft, people are looking for reasons not to pick you. Don't give anybody a reason to say but.
What are the differences when, and I'll just use Sam Pittman as is an example, as recruiting a young man, compared to when Bill Belichick is debating on when he's going to draft someone? When you're evaluating off-the-field issues and on-the-field talent, which I often say, and it's a phrase that me and my friends have kind of coined, a lot of times on-the-field talent leads to off-the-field issues. A lot of times they're hand in hand. How do you go about, if you're those two head coaches, debating if a player's worth to take a chance on or not, particularly at the next level, which we're heading into on Thursday?
Right. I mean, obviously there's degrees to everything, and what the issues are. You hope the buts are, but he's not quite fast enough. But they're all things you can fix and control. A lot of these buts are things the player themselves are in charge of or make a decision in their life about. So those are the things that, depending on the nature of them and the degree of them, could be concerning. So and how concerning they could be. The example he gave was things that were clearly off the field, things that players had chosen to do, and that's why it goes back to a bar fight in your freshman year. Well, generally you're talking about a player at least after the junior year, and sometimes even after their senior year, that you're having 4 years later you're having these conversations. The point is, these things follow you. So even when you're 18, 19 years old and you make a poor decision, it's not going away. It's going to come back up, as he says, as a but. So, people trust what he says because no one's produced more draft results than Nick Saban.
And you'd much rather something happen like that early on in your freshman year, say first week of college, but that's neither here nor there. But if you do something ignorant, like a bar fight or something of that nature, is the optics, does it look better if you do that as a true freshman? I mean, you think about Mac Jones. He got a D-dub. And I haven't seen much conversation about that because it was early on in his college career. I think it was back in 2017, if I remember that correctly.
You hadn't seen as much conversation because he's not being projected to be, top 2 or 3 pick either. I mean,
Mac Jones?
up there. I mean, he's not in the same conversation, at least for the majority of the draft conversation, as Trevor Lawrence and Fields. I know he's risen since then, but throughout the course of last season, he wasn't really in the same breath or conversation during the college season. Now, during this draft season, he's become that. But Mac Jones, in my opinion, wasn't in the same conversation with the pundits throughout the college football season with Trevor Lawrence and Fields.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
he got there at the end of the year. But during the draft season, yes. So
yeah, he's rocking because the Niners look like they're going to take him 3rd overall. So that's what I'm asking with this draft evaluation. I wonder, like, with mistakes early on with these young men that have done, and that's just one prime example, but it's kind of like an early loss. Like, how Bama's suffered an early loss in college football seasons before, and then they round it out and get going to the end of the year, and it's been like 8 straight wins, 9 straight wins, or Ohio State losing early on.
You've atoned for it.
In a sense, it is the.
Well, I think you're right, though. I mean, if it's long enough and you've got a good enough track record, you can have a bumpy start as long as it's not totally rocky. I mean, you can't knock a bank over. You can't go in and rob a convenience store and survive that. But a bar fight, now I'm going to tell you, in this day and time, there's certain issues, and particularly domestic issues, that you can't survive anymore. So, but I think the point you're, if things happen early on, and then you walk the straight and narrow for 3 more years or 2.5 more years or whatever it is, particularly in a program that's discipline-driven like Alabama, then they trust that you're going to do the right things as a pro.
Is there any
– I mean, we're 18. You're not going to make every decision correctly.
Yeah. Is there any parts of these upcoming players or Razorback uniforms this past season that you might question a little bit? Like we had conversations about Rakeem when he decided to opt out mid-season, if that would hurt or do anything to his draft stock. Is there anything you've seen from Marshall, Felipe, Rakeem, and I'm probably forgetting another player or two that NFL GM might look at a little bit and say, I don't know if I like that.
I mean, as far as off the field, no. I mean, I can't think of anything that's happened with those guys. I mean, the thing that I would think of with Rakeem Boyd and Felipe Franks to a degree would be durability and injury prone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Rakeem Boyd's been injured at some point in just about every season, I think, or
I think you're right on
somewhere
that.
along.
Yeah.
And Felipe Franks, we know about the injury that happened at Kentucky. When he was playing for Florida, he comes to Arkansas, and he had the rib problem here and missed the Missouri game last year. But, I mean, those are things that are reasonable football doubts or questions to ask. So
not off the field.
But not off the field.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have any off the field stuff, but listen, we're not investigating these guys like the NFL's going to investigate every nook and cranny.
Yeah. Nope, that's a good point. Even though we live here and stuff, there are teams that still get thrown under the rug that somehow, some way NFL franchises will be able to find and ask questions about it. If you're these players, I'm not speaking to just Arkansas players, but if you're these players overall, you better be ready for every single question or challenge, like the Philadelphia Eagles head coach playing rock, paper, scissors with potential draft picks. 877-377-6963. Quick headlines coming up on the Morning Rush.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
It's the 43rd anniversary sale, April 23rd through May the 3rd at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Cash and carry on above ground pools starting at $19.99 during the anniversary sale. Check out semi-in-ground pools for less than $10,000. Plus big savings on chemical packages available during the 43rd anniversary sale. It's all at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas. They're your source for backyard fun.
at any of the Clay Maxey companies. It's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and Worldline. It's really been a nice add for us. We provide full service. We're doing pickup and delivery. We were able to add the Vexus line, which is a premier bass boat line. We want to make it easy. We want you to visit us at any of the Clay Maxey companies. Clay Maxey Ford and Harrison, Berryville, Motorsports, Marine, or Clay Maxey NWA.
Wheels RV in Springdale wants you to seek out all the Natural State has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. 5 miles west of I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV. The biggest selection, the best values, and more for your trade at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. No one beats the selection at Harry Robinson with over 500 vehicles of all makes and models in stock today. Some as low as 500 miles, many less than 10,000 miles with full factory warranty. Pre-owned trucks, SUVs, and great vehicles of all makes and models are ready now at Harry Robinson. When the other dealers don't have it, Harry does. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Owning an LS tractor is about a lot of things.
For me, it's about lift capacity.
It's about the hydraulics.
Owning an LS, it's about how well it's made.
Steel, baby. More features.
Standard features.
It's about the land.
Having something passed down.
It's about having pride in my work.
It's about owning the best.
LS Tractor. What's it about for you?
Discover what LS tractors are all about at our track, Arkansas's oldest LS tractor dealer on I-40 exit 58 Clarksville, or visit ourtrackwithac.com.
Ramos Roofing is a local roofing company and have over 25 years of experience in the Oklahoma area. Are you looking for a residential or commercial roofing need? Ramos Roofing is the business you can trust, offering discounts for senior citizens, law enforcement, and healthcare workers. Ramos Roofing can help you with your insurance claim. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home. Call 479-420-9903. That's 479-420-9903 for Ramos Roofing.
Evans Body Shop is ready to work for you. Bring us your cars, your trucks, your SUVs, and we will get them back to like-new condition just in time for all of the good times that come with spring and summer. No time to come by for an estimate? Visit our website and utilize our mobile estimating tool. We will keep you updated and informed throughout the repair process, and you can pick up your freshly repaired and detailed vehicle with the peace of mind that our lifetime paint warranty provides. Come by and see us today at 412 Gordon Avenue, Van Buren.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Peachtree Hospice is now Heart of Hospice. We're still the same compassionate team you've come to know and trust. As Heart of Hospice, it's our goal to transform end-of-life care for patients and families in western Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma by providing physical, emotional, and spiritual support tailored to the patient's needs and wishes. Peachtree Hospice is now Heart of Hospice, still providing compassionate care when it's needed the most. Call us today at 844-464-0411.
Fitness will always be about keeping a routine. And the best routines in life will always make time for enjoying yourself. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told ya.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
What's cracking, Ford Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. Winter's over and I'm feeling like a spring chicken. So if your old ride's a rotten egg, don't let it spoil your spring. This month you could get an excellent deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. I don't care if your old ride is fried, scrambled, or hard-boiled, because right now you could trade up when you trade it in, even if you're still making payments or you owe more than it's worth. My non-commissioned sales staff will help you trade in that bad egg and drive away sunny side up in a nicer, newer car for the same or possibly even lower monthly payment. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for spring in our Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. So hop into spring in a nicer, newer car, but hurry, a deal this good will spoil fast. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends April 30th, 2021.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Rebound, Note! That's it! Arkansas is going to the Sweet 16.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Brought to you by Breeden RV Center. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
So Kevin Kopps wins Collegiate Baseball Newspaper's National Player of the Week, but he's SEC co-pitcher, of the week. We'll get into that and some other headlines coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Hey, we are brought to you by Dobson Fiber. If you are looking for internet solutions to improve the internet service at your business, whether it's reliability, overall speed, upload and download speeds, Dobson Fiber can help you. They can provide you the same upload and download speeds at your business. A lot of times you'll get, with the connection or with the service, you'll have 100 megs of download but only 10 megs of upload. Well, that may not fit the needs you have. So if you're looking for business telephone and high-speed internet solutions that are dedicated to your business, and by the way, the customer service dedicated to you as well, you're looking for Dobson Fiber. Dobson Fiber, formerly known as Pinnacle Telecom. 479-242-0000 is their number. That's 242-0000 for Dobson Fiber.
So he gets that, and I know a lot of Arkansas fans are excited to see him recognized nationally in the SEC. Now, you spoke to this a little earlier when we were talking. You think Arkansas fans should care a little less. They should center their passion towards something else more worthwhile.
Well, I mean, you can't win this award every week. And seemingly it seems like every week you have an outstanding performance from somebody on this team, whether it's Robert Moore at the plate, whether it's Kevin Kopps, in the Pitcher of the Week award this past week. Seemingly, because you have a team loaded with talented players, somebody's going to be there. But when you look around the league, I saw Phil tweeted out what Kumar Rocker had done, what Kevin Kopps had done. There was a list about 4 players. I don't know how you pick between all those guys that had just tremendous stat lines. So you're not going to outright win the award every week, because every week someone at Vanderbilt, someone at Mississippi State, someone at one of the other very talented programs is doing something exceptional as well. I understand why, sometimes the league just is, cuts the baby in half, so to speak. Because at the end of the day, that kind of gives you some insight to how they view the award. Well, we'll just do co-player of the week and move on, co-pitcher, whatever, move on. And
we want it all, Tommy.
I get that, but again, you're the number 1 baseball team in the country. Player of the Week awards, they're nice, but those aren't the trophies you're after. That's my point, is you're after a much bigger trophy than Player of the Week.
How about this? JT in Hot Springs texting, he says, I'm not upset, but I'm trying to figure out how a player is the National Player of the Week from 2 national media groups, but the SEC says you were good, but we have to make sure that we honor 2 players for SEC Pitcher of the Week.
Again, you're choking on the gnats. You're getting caught up in the small little things that are ruining your pleasure here. Enjoy what's going on right in front of you. You've got the unanimous number 1 baseball team in the country, and you're getting all pissed off and angry over a Player of the Week award in the conference that's ultimately meaningless. This isn't about an award. This is about you feeling disrespected. That's all this is about.
Arkansas always is disrespected.
Well, because we choose to feel that way. You choose to feel that way.
I think it's a combination. I think you're overlooking some stuff that's just blatantly obvious, that people like to make fun of the state or the football program or the baseball. And there's been a lot to make fun of the football program these last couple of years, not so much the baseball program, which is as good as they had. So there is a little not short man syndrome, but I'm trying to think of like the proper term for when you feel invalidated, since you just want to be validated. And the only way...
You're the unanimous number 1 team in the country. How much more validation do you need?
A national championship.
Well, I mean, you got to earn that. They don't give those away. Are you asking someone to give that to you? I mean, because you have to earn that.
No.
You have to earn it.
But I'm saying that would be, I think Arkansas fans would feel more validated, especially coming off the way how 2018.
Well, no, I can tell you, you'll earn that someday, because I believe that's coming, and this may very well be the year. Arkansas is certainly amongst a handful of teams that should be there unless something just goes awfully awry here, ought to be in the running for that. But they're not the only team that's going to have a good shot at it. But somehow Arkansas could win it, and there'll still be some fans that say, well, we're not getting enough respect for ESPN's not running enough highlights. There will be some kind of complaint. See, you're already saying you can't live in the glory of a national championship. If it happened, we'll have to complain about the lack of coverage of the national championship.
Well, I also think you act like this is just an Arkansas thing. This is across the board.
I just think
fan bases and
I think
collegiate
it's small
sports.
time. I think it's a small time argument when you don't worry about the facts and the actual steak on the plate. You worry about the garnish on the side of the plate. That's my point. Worry about the T-bone in front of you, not the little parsley or whatever comes beside the baked potato. That's what we get caught up in.
Flash says he's here for the confetti. Great quote from Moses Moody that we heard earlier this season. He doesn't care about the player of the week award.
Exactly.
James in Charleston says our baseball program gets more respect nationally than our own conference. So James, he says he's not complaining. He's loving it all.
Cops did win part of the award, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just not checking. He didn't win it outright.
Okay,
so.
just checking.
Colin Glenwood says it's all about that. It's ridiculous that we can be number one in the country and still our players are getting insulted by our own conference. Why are they insulted?
It's not an insult. You still had a player that was player of the week.
No, SEC pitcher of the week. There's big
insulted would be he was totally overlooked and didn't win anything.
Big difference. Kyle from Greenwood says he enjoys the heck out of it. He just can't wrap his mind around it. So. Got some Harry Dog feels like it's a participation trophy at this point, these SEC awards. They're not – the SEC is unwilling to just give it to them.
That's as good a way of putting it as anybody.
Okay. Speaking almost want to bring this up. Hey, SmackDown, did you see Sean Lee told ESPN's Todd Archer that he's retiring, Dallas Cowboy linebacker?
Yeah, we saw this late yesterday afternoon during halftime. The guy's been injury prone. I mean, he's one good injury away from really being in some serious pain himself. It's been neck injury after neck injury with him, so it stinks. And I guess I'm glad that he did it now, where at least Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, and all of them can figure out a game plan and maybe try to find his backup. But you still got Leighton Vander Esch, so I'm not as hung up about it. But if the dude would have stayed healthy, Sean Lee was one of the best linebackers in the NFL, and if he could have stayed healthy, probably would have been one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah, he in 118 games, he had over 800 tackles and a number of other different statistics. But as you mentioned, just couldn't stay on the field. I want to say in the last 3 years, he had been injured 16 games.
That
something
sounds
like
right. He didn't play. I don't have the stats in front of me. He didn't play but a handful of games this year.
Yeah. Keeping it going at the NFL, Kyle Shanahan had some interesting comments yesterday.
I can't guarantee that anybody in the world will be alive Sunday, so I can't guarantee who will be on our roster on Sunday. So that goes for all of us.
That was when he was asked about if Jimmy Garoppolo was going to be his starting quarterback on the roster, and it's all but inevitable that the San Francisco 49ers are going to move on from Guap and draft another quarterback, and he's been very cagey along with John Lynch, former Fox NFL analyst who's now the GM over there, and trying to avoid the questions. We talked about it being Lions season with the NFL. Yep. That's one of the most.
They're not going to give anything away. That was a wry way of. I mean, at this point, when you're the coach, the GM, anyone answering questions, you're just trying to find some other way of answering these without it sounding redundant. So that was just his comical way in his own head of not giving any information up.
Did get some bad news yesterday. According to Business Insider, the United States is facing yet another chicken wing shortage stemming from winter storms in Texas that impacted production.
We need a chicken wing stimulus.
And yeah, seriously. And
can we get chickens that grow 4 wings instead of 2?
Oh, man. It caused prices to skyrocket. Is there cloning? Can you clone?
Something, you know.
Is that do we need to... Is it John Tyson? Is that
yeah?
Okay. Do we need to
one of them? Yeah.
Do we need to? What do we need to do? How do we figure this chicken wing situation out?
Yeah. You know, they used to give away the wings more or less. Nobody wanted the wings. The wing, and then you have all these wing places now, and the wings cost more per pound than the breasts.
I think it's 3 more pounds. Now I will say that before I started doing the morning rush, I was a breast man, chicken breast man, but now I'm a thigh man.
Yeah, I've tried that, and you scoffed at me early on with this.
I did, because I didn't grow up on chicken thighs, but now the chicken, there's definitely more flavor in thighs than breast. So I've found that
go skin on, not skinless.
Yeah, they're really good. So that's a lot of times I basically have
I won't lead you awry. I know my way around the bird.
Yeah, I have 3 meals that I eat during the week: either clean cooking, chicken breast or chicken thighs, mushrooms, spinach, and rice, or a smoothie, and that's about it. That's pretty much what I eat during the week.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, thighs have definitely been better. Yeah. So I will
especially the smoothie.
I did feel a little guilty this morning.
Mine might look like a Sonic Blast.
Have you had the new one with the cookie dough and the Oreos?
No, I haven't.
It's good.
I honestly hadn't had ice cream like that in a long time. It's
very good.
But I'm gonna tell you, if they ever bring Heath back, the Heath bar mix to Sonic, I'd be a customer again.
I don't know if I've ever had a Heath bar.
Oh, what's wrong with you?
So ate dinner with my father last night, and I will say, Tommy, I planned on bringing 2 slices of pizza in this morning, but my roommate ate one, and then Smackdown just went ahead and grabbed the other one. And
no, that's fine. Hey,
and ate it this morning.
Brother. No, sir.
That's fine. I went and you mentioned clean cooking. I went to clean cooking and restocked the fridge yesterday, so I'm good to go.
Tell him what really happened, Ty.
Well, I came in this morning, and I was like, hey, I have a piece of pizza. Do you or Tommy want this? And he said, I'll take it. And he went straight to the microwave and ate it.
Such a lie.
No, what really
my God.
What really happened is I came in, and I was like, hey, I only have 1 slice because my roommate ate the other one. I was going to bring it for both you and Tommy and just eat it before he gets here.
Okay, there's the truth.
That's what actually happened.
I'm good with that.
Oh. But I'm helping you out. You're trying to. You've talked about wanting to lose weight as of late. That's just me being a good Samaritan.
Wanting
over
to
here.
And actually trying to. Or
if it makes you feel any better,
different subjects.
If it makes you feel any better, when I warmed it up, I got the cheese a little too hot, and I've got a nice burn on the roof of my mouth this morning.
Oh, that's what you get.
Jeez,
karma.
Last headline for you this morning before we take Ryan in Hot Springs calls. We've started up the TV moms bracket, haven't we? Is that up? Or?
I don't know. You're the one that brought it up. I don't think it's up.
Okay.
Yet.
Well, that's coming. So we'll TBD on that. But just be ready. Be on the lookout at hitthatline.com.
It's coming today
for the best.
I'll tell you what. We'll debut it during halftime today.
Okay. Perfect. All right, Ryan.
I'll put that on the run.
Yeah. Put it.
Y'all are gonna lift the curtain on that today.
Okay.
Put it on the rundown.
All right. So that's the greatest TV, and we got prizes for those that enter.
Ooh.
How about that?
Are we debuting the prizes too?
Yes.
Snacks?
Man.
No snacks. This isn't. We'll have orange slices. How about that? We'll have orange slices.
Love orange slices.
We'll have orange slices. So that's all coming up. All right. Before we head to the phones, we're brought to you by the Grounds Guys. It's time to take care of the yard. Everyone's starting to mow, weed eat, get rid of the leaves and the stuff that's left over from winter. It's past time for all that. Who do you call, though, if you're already tired of taking care of the yard or your yard guy's not getting the job done? You call the Do-It-All Company. That's the Grounds Guys. Mowing, landscaping, cleanup, weed and feed, continued maintenance. They do everything for you. And right now, if you call and mention you heard about it right here on the Morning Rush, you get half off your first 6-step weed and feed application. Maybe you love to take care of your yard and your landscaping, but hey, you want someone to come in and do all the spraying for you. Well, they can do that. So they can do any or all of these services that we just talked about. Call the Grounds Guys. They'll give you a quote, 303-GUYS. That's 479-303-GUYS, or log on at groundsguys.com.
Coming up, what do you want to know about Chuck Barrett? He's going to be joining me a little later on Trusting the Process today, which you can always listen to on the Hit That Line podcast network, brought to you by Breeden RV. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. What do you want to know? What's a good question? What's a good story that you want to know about the voice of the Razorbacks? Ryan in Hot Springs, I'll ask you that question. Is there something in particular that you've always been curious about Chuck Barrett?
Not really. I just enjoy listening to him so much on the radio that I really don't know where he's from, if he's even in Arkansas. So I'll be listening to just to find out a little more about him. But I am excited that you are doing him. So he was one of the ones on my list I was hoping you would do. I feel like he's kind of Arkansas royalty, if you will.
Definitely is. No question about it.
I wanted to jump in on this whole deal, talking about the whole player of the week, all that crap. I don't think Arkansas fans would be as quick to get aggravated as they are, but when you go on the road and you beat a team like Ole Miss, and one of their batters is the player of the week over your player who actually outplayed him, that's an issue. And then you got DeLucci going up there on the SEC network and the other people doing their rankings, and you're number one in the country, and they're putting you third on the list behind other teams, and you're the only team in the SEC that has not lost a series yet. So, I mean, I feel like Arkansas fans got a right to be aggravated. Yeah, I know we're not necessarily looking at bigger picture, but the disrespect has been going on far too long. And I think that's more what it is, too, is the length of time that we've been being disrespected. And I'll leave y'all with that. And if I was going to tell you, too, the picture that I sent you last night was from Spillway right before dark.
Cool.
Right there on good old Lake Washita.
Cool.
And that was a walleye, too, by the way.
I wish I had time to fish as much as you do.
Yeah.
I'm jealous of you.
Ryan, appreciate the call. I think part of the reasons that some either SEC analysts, national analysts play to the Arkansas fan base and poke fun is because they know there's going to be a quick reaction to that.
Yeah, it's a red meat tweet.
Yeah, and I think there's some that don't know that, like, oh my gosh, fan base is passionate. Others that know to poke the bear so they can get a response, so they can get the social media credit and stuff, which is, I mean, you play the game.
This all started with Chelsea Dungy in the week you beat UConn, and she got National Player of the Week from ESPNW and a couple other, national forums that cover college women's basketball, but she got co-SEC Player of the Week.
Yeah.
That's where this all began. And I don't know that any other fan base even discusses Player of the Week and co-players, or they even pay attention to it. I would be in Mississippi or Florida or South Carolina, any other market, any other fan base pay attention to this stuff? Or is it just us?
Just means more in Arkansas, man. Just means more. Just means more.
If that's the way you want to see it.
Three-pointer on the way. No good. Pulls with the dunk at the buzzer. It goes and Arkansas wins. It goes and Arkansas wins. That's a Grand Slam home run. Brady Toops just hit a Grand Slam home run.
Flynn, shotgun formation into the end zone. The pass is intercepted. Arkansas wins the ball game. Intercepted in the end zone.
Deep down the right sideline for Crawford. Touchdown, Arkansas! Touchdown, Arkansas! London Crawford with the reception. The Hawks are going to Omaha. The Razorbacks have beaten Baylor, and we've got a mob scene out by the pitcher's mound, the dog pile, as the Hawks punch their ticket to Omaha. Colby Suggs with the strikeout, and the Razorbacks are headed to the College World Series.
So those are some of Chuck Barrett's best calls over the years. And I think one of the unique things about this project is, a lot of those calls, whether it was the win over LSU in 2007 at the top of our open, we've had the Ole Miss call, Swine intervention back in 2015. You heard the last call when you beat Baylor to advance to the College World Series in Waco. But a lot of people like Ryan don't necessarily know that Chuck's from right here in Clarksville, Arkansas. And Andy in Mountain Home wants to know what Chuck thinks about sharing his hometown with Eddie in Clarksville. And
I'm sure he's given that a lot of consideration.
Yeah. And I remember an interview that we did on this program months ago, and I asked him a personal question, and he said, about himself. And he's like, I don't think people really care about that. But that's not the case. People do care about this. That's why I think this project that we've been doing here at Hit That Line in ESPN Arkansas has been so successful because it's an insight into people's lives. So I'd ask you, what do I need to know? I've got like 25 questions that I've written down at some point. Golf questions. Chuck's lost some weight too. I don't know if you've noticed that. It looks good.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of weight over the years.
Yeah.
You look at some of when I first got to know him 15 years ago, 17 years ago, got to know him a lot better. Yeah, he's a different physical human being than he is today.
Different cap.
Yeah.
What are some questions that you think are worthy of discussion?
Well, I think there's a lot of things, it's like a lot of people, this business is a grind. And I think there's probably a lot of things early in his career. A lot of his early days were in the Fort Smith market. working at, there wasn't sports talk radio when he started out in radio.
Mm-hmm.
There were some shows, but there certainly weren't formats, and certainly not in this part of the country.
Yeah.
There was only a handful of sports talk stations around the country, and they weren't in Arkansas. And the opportunity to really what made his name, I know he's now probably obviously most known for being the voice of the Razorbacks, but he made his name was doing a sports talk show.
Sports rap, yeah.
So the opportunity to get that, and it was doing that on a news talk station, and then that became statewide. So the grind and the years before that, and that's the thing that people don't see is all the things that went into getting to where you're at. And when you're in your 20s and your 30s, and you're working for a small amount of money to get to a point, so at a later station in life, you can look back and it was worth it all.
He was covering like city council meetings.
I've done all that stuff too. I mean, I worked at a small AM radio station, and we went to city council meetings, and we went to the, to the Balloon Fest and the Corn Fest and you name it. If it was a festival, we were there. Parades. I get it because all of that's in my background, and a lot of those things were in his background before me. And I understand where it came from. You've never seen a cart deck in a radio station. You hadn't worked in a radio station till you stacked up your hours worth of carts, and then you tried to flip them over, stacked them upside down, then you tried to flip them over. Well, if you flipped them over and then they buckled out and just went everywhere, you hadn't worked in a radio station. You've done that.
Not good.
It's been a few years. You've never even seen a cart deck. I don't even think we have one laying around in the shed any longer. So those are some of the things that our audience probably has no clue about, because they just see the finished product. There's a lot of work that went into where he's at.
Yeah, a lot of work that goes into Chuck's career, your career, and this show every single morning. Let's go to David in South Arkansas. David, what do you want to know about Chuck Barrett, my man?
I remember, good morning, gentlemen, when I lived in Fort Smith, I listened to Chuck every afternoon, and he could just talk for 3 hours by himself, and it was so cool to just listen to him talk for 3 hours. Some people would call in, but he would go off on a topic, a subject, and I'd sit out on my patio and just listen to him. It was so cool that somebody could do that so effortlessly, it seemed like. And if I could chime in on this co-player of the week thing, think about this. We're number one. It shows our players are so consistent every game they're doing that I think those awards like player of the week are someone who's mediocre has a good week on a bad, mediocre team. So they're like, oh, let's give it to that person. And, of course, they'll never win it again, and the team is no good. But, hey, we're number one. No complaints. Wonderful. Thanks, gentlemen.
I appreciate the call, David. Well, I'll say this. There's not a lot of mediocre baseball teams in the Southeastern Conference. There's a lot of good talent, and that's why you're having to compete against it every single week. But Arkansas, they get a lot of dudes that are worthy of those awards.
All right, Clay Henry's coming up. He'll join us on the program on the other side of the top of the 7 o'clock hour. We're brought to you by World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH is the number to call Ben and his crew. If you're struggling with the high price of cable or UVerse or whatever you have now, you're out of contract and the price is going up, get a 2-year price guarantee with World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH. It's 877-305-3474. Get a $100 Visa gift card and a 2-year price guarantee be installed before the weekend. 877-305-DISH for WOW World of Wireless.
You upgraded to the elevated ride of the 2021 Toyota Highlander.
New Highlander, Mr. D?
Yeah, figured it was time for something nicer, more refined.
Look at this thing. I mean, that moonroof is pretty sweet.
It's extremely stylish.
That's not all. As you can see, it has leather seats, dual-zone climate control.
And comes with all the latest tech.
And Android Auto. Check out this 12.3-inch touchscreen.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland,
America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This song might make you feel cool, but it perfectly describes a fool. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road and gonna ride till I can't no more, and can't nobody tell me nothing. This path will only lead you to God's wrath, because the Bible says the wicked refuse discipline and treat his words like trash. What good is a nice beat when you're headed down the wrong street? I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Could be worth thousands. NW Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Come try out the new Cooper Radex Woods and Irons or the tailor-made Sim 2 Woods and Irons at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. Spend some time on the putting green and try out a great selection of Scotty Cameron putters. In stock now, tailor-made TP5s or the Callaway Super Soft golf balls. Need a push cart? Choose from Sun Mountain, Rovic, or Click Gear. As always, don't forget to check Facebook for daily specials. The best place for all your golfing needs. The Golf Nut, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work. Real work. Working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Every Saturday is brunch day at Joe's Grill and Cantina, starting at 10:45. Come on in and have brunch specials and sip on a cocktail before you start your day. Have a breakfast burrito, frittata, and there's more to choose from. Mimosas and other cocktails are available too. Joe's Grill and Cantina. It's brunch every Saturday, starting at 10:45. And as always, half-price apps and taps during the Hog baseball games. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Make your car buying experience better at Hertz Car Sales. The goal is to provide customers with a wide selection of low-mileage, extra-clean vehicles, providing their buyers with a better way to drive. A professional sales staff, quality customer service, along with a relaxing atmosphere is what you find every time at Hertz Car Sales. What are you waiting for? Make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard or call them today at 783-1722. You can also check them out online at buyfromhertz.com. Hertz Car Sales, when you're ready.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we're looking at a good deal of cloudiness coming in with a bit of a breeze from the south. Some areas picking up gusts between 20 and 30 miles per hour. Highs are ranging from the upper 70s to near 80. We are ramping up our chances for showers and thunderstorms for tonight, especially the further north that you go. Lows are into the low to mid 60s. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Brought to you by Breeden RV Center.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place.
Allen gets the snap. Got all kinds of time. He's going to fire to the sideline, complete to Henry, but Hunter well shy of the first down. He's going to lateral it back. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Collins. Alex has got room at the 30, 25, 20. Collins at the 15, cuts back at the 10. This game's still alive, and the Hogs have a first down. Hunter Henry lateraled it back over his head, Keith, and we're still playing football.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You are causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong? Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
It's hour number 2 of The Morning Rush on a Toyota Tuesday. Going to be joined by Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, coming up. You heard at the top of our open some of one of Chuck Barrett's best calls from Ole Miss back in 2015. Later in this hour, we'll talk about what we concluded last hour with, some of the things you want to know about Chuck. Clay Henry has done radio with him for quite some time. We'll get his thoughts, his takes, his opinions on that. But coming up, I do want to talk a little Kevin Kopps. Clay wrote a really good piece on him, and we'll touch on that in just a sec.
All right, Clay, in just a moment, brought to you by Kevin Hickey and his law partners. If you're building a home, it's a stressful time, whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. There's a lot of things that happen. Plans change, subcontractors don't show up, payments don't get made on time. All of these can lead to homeowners and contractors being at odds. Whether you're the homeowner or the contractor, Kevin has experience representing both sides, the homeowner or the contractor, and helping you navigate what could become a sticky legal mess. Call the attorneys at the Kevin Hickey Law Partners. They have experience in these matters. Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey are waiting on your call, 479-434-2414 in the River Valley. That's 434-2414 and 802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas, or find out more online at artriallawyers.com. That's artriallawyers.com.
Clay, 66 strikeouts over 37 innings. One of the great details in your piece that you wrote on Kevin Kopps. You had a great conversation with former Razorback baseball coach Norm DeBryan. There hadn't been many teams / players that have been able to pick up on any of his pitches this season, man.
Yeah, it's first of all, he's throwing strikes, and if you take a pitch, then it'll be a called strike. And he's hitting – it's a pitch that he can throw in the middle of the zone and you can't hit it. And that is so valuable at the end of games when a walk can be deadly. You know, I don't know what the stats are about, how many walks come around to score in college baseball, but it's a ton. And he just doesn't put himself in that position, and he probably, you just saw I think y'all were talking about pitcher of the week, SEC pitcher of the week, co-pitcher of the week with Kumar Rocker. Those guys, one of those two is going to be the SEC pitcher of the year, I think. It's either Kevin or it's Kumar, and they're having outstanding years. And Kevin's is, you can match his stats up with the best. And I'm tried to throw out some of the numbers for the best closers in Arkansas history, and he's going to be in that conversation when the year's over, I think.
Yeah, some of the guys, Clay, that you listed in your piece, you think about Matt Cronin, the redheaded fireball, Colby Suggs, Barrett Austin. I mean, Arkansas has had not just pitchers. We always think about Blaine Knight and Isaiah Campbell as of late, but just some dudes that Dave's had and that Norm had over the years. Based on what's kind of been in your piece and based on what you and Norm talked about, and speaking to Cops at this point, he stacks up with the best of them.
Yeah, in Philip Stidham and Tim Dietz, played in the Southwest Conference era when baseball was really strong in that league too, and racked up those same kind of numbers. And it's just fun to watch Kevin, and when that outfield wall swings open and he comes onto the field, you just got a pretty good feeling that it's about over.
Well, you got a good feeling if you have a 1 or 2, 3-run lead, whatever, after 7 innings. He's coming in to get 6 outs. Ball game. I mean,
yeah, he's done it in the 7th inning too.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know that if you've got a lead and he's coming in, he's going to protect it, and that's the thing that you have with Cops, that he doesn't give any hope to the other dugout. I mean, these guys aren't going to catch up with what he's got to throw, and they know it. There's a lot of unhittable stuff that he's going to deliver.
Yeah, his defense is playing good behind him, and he was kind of the first half of his career kind of a pitch to contact guy, but not now. There's no contact. I mean, every once in a while you'll see somebody just barely top one or foul tip it, but they're not putting it in play much.
They're getting lucky is what they are.
Yeah, they're getting lucky when they tip it. Yeah,
exactly.
Clay, here's one of the questions that I think has been asked, and I don't know if Dave and Matt Hobbs have been percolating on this as well. Cops, you mentioned him playing a lot of 7-inning, like a 9-out, 8-out, 7-out type of appearances. I know closers more often than not come in the 9th or come in the 8th, get the 6, 5, 4, whatever. Do you think is there a chance he gets tired as we get closer and closer to postseason play based on the amount of pitches he's throwing relative to what a closer typically does?
Well, he's throwing the number of pitchers that a normal SEC pitcher throws, maybe not a closer.
Okay.
But he's not. Here's the thing that you forget is he's coming up there spinning it. He's not throwing the hard curveball. He's spinning it with with a cutter or a slider, and his arms. First of all, he's got the strongest arm that you could have. You're better off after Tommy John surgery than you are before it, because you've got strong ligament. I don't think that they're worried about that. I think they feel confident that he wants to pitch more, not less. He seems to be better. The second time on the weekend, they're not using him much in the midweek games, so a lot of those closers, are pitching once in the midweek too. The guys that he probably is not going to get to 14 saves because he's just not going to get enough opportunities because the midweek games are about over, and the leads have been such that they're not save opportunities. So unless you pitch 3 innings, if you come in with a 5-run lead, which he does sometimes, it's not a save. But they're still going to let him finish games like that. But it's I guess you can always say, yeah, he could get a dead arm, but his history says that's not what happens.
It's been really fun to watch him this season. Clay also brought up Kumar Rocker, who's been unbelievable. I remember having a conversation with Bill Keene over in Nashville about Kumar, and his parents were adamant, like this guy was going to be I can't remember, top 3 rounds pick in the MLBs, but they were like, you're going to school. And I think Vanderbilt, Tim Corbin, and that group has definitely benefited from that, and he's been a joy to watch this year along with Kevin Cops. All right, coming up in the program, we're going to talk to Bruce Stanton of Pradco Fishing a little bit to go over a variety of different things. I know that we're going to be at Gaston's in, a week and a half? Is that right?
That's about right.
About right. About a week and a half, maybe a little longer than that. Excited about that trip. Get out and do some fishing with some practical lures out there a little bit. Won't be fly fishing. Clay, at some point you're going to have to teach me how to fly fish. I don't know if I've got the patience for it, but I'll see if I can at least.
No. I'm the one that doesn't have the patience for it.
That's probably
well said.
And when you say sometime I'm going to have to, no, I don't have to.
That's okay. So
I was at the golf course yesterday, and a guy came up to me and he goes, "Do you really want to keep doing that show with that young millennial?" and I said, he's really trying my patience. And he says, "Well, you think he'll ever come up here and you take him out on the river?" And I was like, "No, nope." I love Chuck Barrett. I took him, not this guy.
Come on, Grandpa.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
It's time to say goodbye to contacts, glasses, or bifocals with LASIK or clear lens exchange by Volvision in Northwest Arkansas. Mention ESPN for $500 off your LASIK or clear lens exchange procedure. A quick 15-minute procedure, easy 24-hour recovery no matter your age. Freedom from contacts and glasses is an option for you. Volvision, the official eye care providers of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Go Hogs! Discount cannot be combined with other offers or discounts.
Designer face masks, DIY haircuts. In a world full of things you never thought possible, here's one more. Now you can get the same high-quality insurance from Allstate, but at a new low rate. Drivers who switched and saved averaged $718. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit Allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Reported average annual savings when switching auto by new customers surveyed who saved with Allstate in 2019. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Not available in every state. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer. The biggest selection, the best values, and more for your trade at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. No one beats the selection at Harry Robinson with over 500 vehicles of all makes and models in stock today. Some as low as 500 miles, many less than 10,000 miles with full factory warranty. Pre-owned trucks, SUVs, and great vehicles of all makes and models are ready now at Harry Robinson. When the other dealers don't have it, Harry does. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
There's an old saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Hi, this is Scott at Calico County. 2021 is here, and no doubt a lot has changed in the last year. But something that has stayed the same is Calico County's award-winning food. Great portions that are fresh and always cooked from scratch. Something that we have changed is improved curbside service for those of you that don't want to fight the crowds. And of course, we will never change those great cinnamon rolls that everyone loves. So for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, it's Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue, behind Randall Ford.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Call Kohler & Green Insurance today in Fort Smith at 484-9888 and Kohler & Green Insurance in Van Buren at 474-9888.
Whether you're fishing for coldwater bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partner. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out at the web at artriallawyers.com.
Frankrow Furniture is having an April Super Stimulus and Tax Refund Sale. Save hundreds of dollars. Sofas, loves, sectionals, and recliners, all made in the USA. Big savings for our finance customers and extremely large savings on cash sales. Family owned, in-store no credit check financing, and service after the sale. Frankrow Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
In the mood for a top shelf night, 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge has your number. Sit back, relax, and enjoy select wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails in a rich, comfortable, sanitized setting with state-of-the-art air filtration. Indulge in one of their delicious appetizers, sandwiches, salads, or specialty items for carry-out or dine-in. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Stop by 906 Garrison Avenue in Fort Smith. 906 Garrison in Fort Smith. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Battle swings a bouncer off the glove of the pitcher, ricochets to short, no play, run scores. This one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
Welcome back into the Morning Rush. We're going to talk to Bruce Stanton of Pradco Fishing coming up here. The conversation this morning, we just had a good one with Clay about Kevin Kopps. If you haven't read his piece on Kopps, when he talked with Norm DeBryan about him, it's really good. Coming up, we'll also ask Clay about what he thinks about the NFL prospects for Arkansas as the NFL draft starts on Thursday. I know we've got Cowboys fans, we've got Chiefs fans, we've got Phil's, is our residential Pittsburgh Steelers fan. We've got a variety of different NFL fans that listen to the program. We'll touch on what Clay thinks some of the Arkansas Razorbacks NFL prospects, and then we'll also get Clay's thoughts on what I should ask and some funny stories from Chuck Barrett. Chuck is coming on with me for Trusting the Process later on today. Really excited about that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what else I'm excited to talk to Bruce Stanton, who's joined us now. His normal Tuesdays, but he's normally in the studio, but Bruce has been sending us pictures, guys, all week of it's prime time for bass fishing, and he's been loading my phone up with some great pictures of fish, and we've been getting a lot of – Bruce, I sent you a couple pictures of listeners that have been sending us pictures this week. They've been listening to us, and they know what this week's all about, and it's been kind of fun this week seeing everybody having some success out on the lake.
Well, we're not going to talk about, and like a lot of places in Arkansas and Oklahoma, water temperatures getting up in the mid to high 60s, and the bass coming up. We're seeing dead. That's when you young dinger out there, wacky rig, little one-aught hook, scorpion hook in the middle. But yeah,
yeah, we're going to need Smackdown. See if we can call him back. Our connection with Bruce is shaky there, so we'll see if we can reconnect with him.
I got a good story about the care package that Bruce sent me. Tommy, you delivered it last week. So I had that stuff laying all across. I think there's like 10 different packages of stuff.
Right.
And I had it laid on my dining room table. And Christopher Bolden, who's my son-in-law, and he's a fly fishing guide on the river, but his real love and passion is bass fishing. He's got a bass rig, and he goes on Norfolk Lake. And I laid that stuff out, and I said, "Hey, look what I got." And he got the bag that it came in, and he just putting the stuff in there. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. Get some more of that.
Yeah.
Get some more of that. Get some more of that. And then, boom, there he went right out the door.
You got nothing, didn't you?
No, I got nothing. He's got it all. Now, the good news is he's the guy that takes me. So when we go, I'll get to use that stuff. But he did ask for some milky white Bobby Garland baby shad. He said that's the ticket for the crappie right now. He probably doesn't want me to give that out on statewide radio, but I just did.
All right. Well, we'll reconnect with Bruce. I know he is out fishing this week.
Bless his heart.
I know
yeah.
it. I feel bad for him. We've gotten a lot
no,
of good
he
pictures.
deserves it.
Yeah, well, this is the week you live for. So
yeah, and you know those guys, kind of like a golf pro. Everybody thinks they play golf, and a guy that works at an outdoor shop, a factory that makes fishing lures, everybody thinks they're fishing all the time. No, they're in there working.
Yeah,
so good for him.
So we'll make a reconnection with Bruce here and get going. I know that there'll be a lot of conversation. We got Bruce back. All right, he's out there probably deep in one of them coves, looking, working them banks this morning. Bruce, can we hear you? See if we can hear you a little better now. So
okay,
oh,
good,
much better,
good.
much better. All right, yeah. So glad you're having some success this week. Clay was commenting again on his care package that I took up from you. Last week, he's ready to go.
I got it. My son-in-law took it all, Bruce. He took every bit of it.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, he's fished the bass circuit before, and he goes, oh, he says, I didn't know you could get stuff like that. And he did say the Bobby Garland, the baby shad, he said that's the mother lode, but he wants me to get it in milky. Do you have what's called the milky color?
It's monkey milk.
Okay, you need to get a package of that. Apparently that's like death on the crappie right now. So
that's the number one seller, monkey milk baby shad.
Yeah, well, he said if you can get some of that, he said this will work, but he said that's the best stuff. And everything that was on the table, he put them all in the sack and he took every bit of it. And he's like, this is like gold, all this stuff. So yeah, of course that made me feel good because anytime he's happy, well, that means I get to go in his bass boat. So.
There you go.
Yeah, and I'm going to tie some flies for you. We got to reciprocate. I'm going to send you a care package.
There you go. Well, Tommy, we're down here on Broken Bow, and it's Super Bowl week. You're a bass fisherman. The water's in the mid 60s to high 60s, and they're getting up, locked in on the beds. We're throwing a Yum Dinger 5-inch. We're throwing Elder's Magic color, but I don't know how much color matters. But 5-inch Yum Dinger. Throw it up around a lay down or wood in the water, and there's usually a bass or two, and you just repeat that through all the pockets on the lakes you're fishing, and you'll probably be happy if you do that all day.
Oh, we've had some listeners checking in, and whether it's Ouachita or Norfolk or Bull Shoals or Table Rock, I think a lot Beaver Lake. I think a lot of guys understand exactly what you're talking about there, and this is the week they've been waiting on for a while.
That's it. Well, and, if you want to go into the transfer portal, get that Flash Mob Junior and put some money minnows on it, and throw that out on some deep points. Because these fish, they're actually schooling. We went into 3 different big pockets yesterday, and I'm fishing with Coach Buchanan, Buck Buchanan at Hendricks College. He's the football coach there in Conway, and he's playing hooky this week. And when the fish start schooling, you throw that Flash Mob out there, and you might catch 2 or 3 at a time, and it just helps your bag count. But we're learning from Musselman, get that transfer portal, have some new players coming in and new lures coming in, and they'll have to catch a lot more fish. But that Flash Mob that one of your listeners sent in, that was a nice fish.
Yeah, sure was. Hey, big week, NFL draft coming up a couple nights away, Thursday night. I know for you being a Redskins fan, you'll be paying a lot of attention because you're locked in on this. What are some of the big storylines from the draft on Thursday night that you're most interested in?
Well, it just seems like everybody's going quarterback crazy. There's a feeding frenzy to get to the top, to get a bunch of what I would consider iffy, kind of gamble quarterback positions. So, Washington, then we're the football team now. We can't say the other word,
I forgot, yeah.
That's okay. That's
habit. It just kind of comes out of your mouth, habit.
It does.
It's habitual.
It's natural.
Yeah.
It's natural. But Washington needs a quarterback. Alex Smith retired, and I think we got Fitzmagic for the year, so he'll probably start about 10 games, and then someone will take his place. But Washington does need a quarterback. But you look, it seems like half the teams in the NFL are trading up and wanting to get quarterbacks. So I think that's the number one thing. Who's going to trade up? Who's going to trade up to get quarterbacks, and where are they going to end up, and what kind of trades are going to happen on draft day? That'll be the exciting thing. I don't think Dallas will trade for a quarterback, but Apparently, Jerry likes the tight end from Florida, so maybe he'll make a crazy trade and try to get him.
You know, guys, and Clay, we've talked about Mac Jones and his rise on the draft board. You know, the SEC always ends up with the biggest numbers out of the draft when you look back, whether it's first round and totality, all of it. But it's not always. It seems like it's been a little while since it's been a quarterback that's made the splash. What do you guys think? Is Alabama's quarterback going to stick and stay in the NFL? How's this going to work with Mac Jones?
Yeah, it's tough to predict because it's obvious that he was playing with the most talented group, you know, in college football. I mean, they had, you know, we can talk about that LSU offense, you know, from the year before, but theirs was pretty good too. And they lost Jalen Waddle, and they didn't even – I mean, I don't think the team we saw in Fayetteville, I can't imagine adding that piece to them, but they're going to have probably 6 first-rounders, you know, 2 on the offensive line, 2 to 3 receivers, a running back, a quarterback. All those guys are going to go in the first round. And so he was playing with such an advantage. Well, what happens when he plays on if he goes in the top 3, he's going to play on a team that's not quite as dominant as what he had. And how will he do when the cornerbacks, you know, are not deficient compared to his wide receivers? I mean, he had an open guy 2 seconds after the snap every time. A lot of times maybe multiple open guys. It won't be like that at the next level, I don't think.
Yeah, San Francisco is a little bit different situation potentially, and that's where a lot of people are expecting him to land with Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. It's a little bit of a different situation than playing with the likes of Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Najee Harris, and some of the premier players in college football.
Line.
Yeah, did they win the Joe Moore Award this past season, Clay?
Yeah, they won it. I don't think there was anybody else considered.
Yeah.
From what talking to a couple of guys that were on that committee, Barrett Jones and Phil Steele, and I would think that what you had was an NFL group playing against guys that aren't NFL caliber. You know, when you think about Arkansas's defense, that you had Jonathan Marshall, but there's nobody else out there that's going to, well, maybe Jalen Catalon that's going to play in the NFL. You know, when you've got 6 to 10, I mean, there's guys that aren't going to be drafted off of that offense that will the following years. So when we look back, that offense might have as many as 10 first-rounders. That's kind of scary, isn't it?
Yeah. Who's the one guy, Bruce, that you've watched over the course of the last couple of years in the SEC you're most excited to see in the NFL?
You know, again, it's a dominant athlete, but I think Kyle Pitts, to me, is just going to be that guy you put on a team, and he's going to make something big happen. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer, but I think he's an All-Pro. The thing about Alabama quarterbacks, recent history, not going back to like Namath or Stabler, but I just don't know if you can say they've been successful in the NFL. So I'm not real excited about Mac Jones, but Kyle Pitts, I think anywhere you put him, he's going to be a standout, and I'm kind of excited. I don't like Florida, but I'm kind of excited to see what he does in the NFL.
I think, Bruce, you're not the only one that has question marks about the Alabama quarterback, because you think about the likes of, like, in recent history, A.J. McCarron, Jake Coker, Blake Sims. I know Tua's early on in his career with the Miami Dolphins, but there's injury concerns with him. That's a question I think a lot of people have with Mac. I mean, Clay, you just alluded to all the weapons Mac had around him this past season. He put up numbers. I didn't have those same question about Joe Burrow 2 years prior. I thought he was going to be successful, but maybe that's the same situation. I don't know. I mean, what are the question marks you'll have about, besides his athleticism? What are the question marks you have of Mac Jones at the next level? Because I'm kind of with Bruce there too.
Yeah, I really don't have those question marks. And when I watched him play against the better defenses, he seemed to cut them up. And his ability to throw all of the deep balls in rhythm, in timing, and put it on the money. That's where he really jumped in the last year. And he did not miss those guys. I mean, it was over and over that he would hit them in stride or throw it in a tight window. Arkansas backed off and played, 8 in coverage, and, he went underneath. I mean, it was really quick. He adjusted to scheme and seemed to understand. And that he's playing in a pro offense. Mm-hmm. And a lot of college quarterbacks, that's where he has the big advantage over the Ohio State quarterback, Justin Fields, is that he did not rely on the RPO and signals from the sideline. He was reading a pro offense. So that will help him in his, that's why San Francisco wants him. Yeah. And it has to do with his ability to read safeties and play keys.
So what are we saying about Arkansas's quarterback this time next week? And I'm talking about Felipe Franks. Is he drafted, free agent route? What do you guys think, the next 5 days or so holds
I'll let Bruce go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Felipe's got the frame for it. He's got a big body. He can throw the ball downfield. I think he had glimmers of greatness at Florida. I think we saw a little bit of it at Arkansas. But, I think if he's drafted, it's going to be 6th or 7th round. A team might take a chance on him just because he looks the part and has had some success. But I don't know. I don't see him just being a franchise quarterback. Somebody might take him as a third teamer, development team, and try to develop him, see if something happens. But just on my view of him, that's probably what I would think would happen.
His number one flaw is what's going to get him, and keep him from going very high in the draft, if at all. He might be a free agent, is that he holds the ball too long. And we saw it last year, and, he broke the all-time school record, Kevin Scanlon's, 40, 50-year-old record of completion percentage, but it was because he held the ball. He didn't, he's not going to take many chances. And at the NFL, you've got to throw it in a tight window, and you got to get the ball out now, because you will get smushed if you hold it in that league. The ends get there too quick.
Yeah, certainly. Grown men, you get a dose of it in the SEC. You get a double dose at the next level. All right, it's primetime fishing week. Bruce Stanton with us every Tuesday. Pradco Fishing, Arkansas company. They make a lot of their products right here in the Natural State. Bruce, what's got to be in the tackle box if you're headed out for some early morning action this week?
Well, I'd have a couple of things. I'd have a yum dinger, 5-inch yum dinger, and Elder's Magic, watermelon red, green pumpkin, June bug, just a good solid color, and rig it in the middle with a 1/0 scorpion hook. I use a gamakatsu, and you're just pitching it up next to cover on the bank, 1 to 3 feet of water. And a lot of times the fish are just grabbing it. You might see your line jump a little bit. You'll see your line moving. If your line's in front of the boat and you cast it up on the bank, you need to reel down and set the hook. You got a fish on. But it's not a violent bite when they're on the bed. They're just picking it up and moving it. I'd have a popar tied on, a Rebel popar in a chrome black. A lot of times when the water gets in the 60s, they're going to hit top water. And then I'd have a Flash Bob Jr. with some money minutes. A lot of times fish will school, especially spotted bass. You'll see them in main lake points, and the spotted bass will be thrashing shad. And you throw that out there and catch them. So you want at least 3 or 4 rods rigged up and just be ready to adjust. But today it's cloudy. The low tonight's going to be 68. So, again, the water's not going to cool down tonight, and there's thunderstorms tomorrow. Today and tomorrow are going to be the days.
All right, you can find all these great things, these tips. You can find all the Pradco products that you want, whether it's that Umbrella Flash Mob or the Bobby Garland Baby Shad that Clay was begging for earlier. It's pretty sad how Clay was going about that. Clay, you can find that.
You send me that, Bruce, and we'll have a fish fry in a week, okay?
There you go.
You can go to Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy. LureNet.com is a great resource because you can see it all right there. And your favorite tackle shop certainly will have it, or it wouldn't be your favorite tackle shop if it didn't have all this good stuff. All right, so Bruce, good luck, and we hope to see you next Tuesday.
All right, Tommy.
I know
Thank y'all.
Clay really hopes to see you next Tuesday.
Monkey milk.
Have
baby
fun.
dad.
Have fun down there.
All right. All right. See y'all.
If you're a bass fisherman, this is the week. It's like deer season, in November or whatever when Modern Gun opens. This is the week you live for, Clay.
Oh, it is, and I was talking to a contractor that's doing some work at a house close to me, and he goes, "All my guys are gone. I don't know what's happening. They're calling in sick." And he's laughing. It happens every year. He said he's first week of modern gun deer season, and first week of that the lakes warm up. I don't know. Those guys all once get sick.
Yeah, all of a sudden,
yeah,
taking their precautions.
And when they come back, they're just as strong as an ox. They say, I don't know. They're not sneezing or nothing.
Let's take a phone
stuff.
Let's take a phone call real quick. Go out to Lake Village and welcome in Jimmy to the program. And I'm assuming this is going to be directed at Clay. Jimmy, you wanted to talk about the Arkansas offensive line this morning, buddy.
Well, yes, I do. I think as Arkansas's offensive line goes this year, so will Arkansas. I think they're going to have to be good to give K.J. Jefferson and Malik Hornsby a chance to be good quarterbacks. I hate that we lost Mike Woods. I hate that. But I'm going to tell you what. If De'Vion Warren comes back in true form, he'll make us forget about Mike Woods. Because last year, before he got hurt, De'Vion Warren was catching passes, shaking off DBs, running good routes, and getting into the end zone, if you remember. So I'd just like to know what your guys' take is on that. I'll hush up and let you guys talk.
Well, I know Clay's been preaching to me since I got into Arkansas sports media how important the line of scrimmage is on both sides of the football with the program. And Clay, you've spoken to the pad level, you've spoken to the intensity, you've spoken to the physicality that's been up this spring relative to last year. Now, I don't know if it's going to be the 2015 offensive line or the line with the likes of Sean Andrews and Jason Peters, but you've definitely seen improvement, haven't you?
Yeah, they're better, and I think they've got more depth, and I think that if a guy goes down at guard, they can plug the next guy in. They're not going to be overpowered. I think they'll be better able to play against the physical defensive lines at Alabama, Auburn, Florida. Those groups just overwhelmed them the last few years. And you lost Mike Woods, and that don't minimize that. But the guy you couldn't lose off of this team was Myron Cunningham. And he is the left side anchor, and I think he's improved over where he was this time last year. And I think you're going to see him have a Kevin Kopps year, as a senior, a fifth-year senior. And I think this line is so much better. And are they elite yet? I'm not sure they're elite, but they're headed that direction. They stay healthy and keep – those 6, 7, 8 guys that and I'm talking about Marcus Henderson and Jalen St. John, the true freshman that will be redshirt freshmen next year. They got a chance to have a special group. So, yeah, that's the key thing to watch as we roll into September.
Yeah. Jimmy, thanks for that call. And, yeah, it's always going to be the way it is, because if you don't win that battle at the line of scrimmage, you don't win the football. You got to win there, and you can't turn the ball over. That seemingly every year are the two things. If you don't take care of those, you probably don't make a bowl game. Or certainly not the bowl game you're capable of.
Or that you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, because you got skill position players, but
what's the worst bowl, Tommy?
Birmingham Bowl.
Not even close.
That's the one you don't want to be in. I tell you where you do want to be. We were talking about bass fishing a minute ago. You could bass fish in the mornings up at Bull Shoals and then drop below the dam and do some great trout fishing on the #1 trout stream in North America, and that's the tailwaters of Bull Shoals on the White River. Gaston's is the #1 premier trout fishing resort that you're going to find, and they've got the experienced guides, the best boats. When you get a boat at Gaston's, you get a topwater boat, and their guides have decades of experience. So they know exactly when they come out of the dock whether they want to go upriver towards the state park and get right below the dam, or maybe they found them a little honey hole downriver a little ways. There is a great fishery right just out the doors at Gaston's. And then when it's all done, you can come inside and enjoy breakfast, lunch, and dinner with a great view of the White River from their excellent restaurant that kind of oversees the docks and the river and all of it. 870-431-5202 for a reservation at Gaston's. A first-class time every time.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Wheels RV in Springdale wants you to seek out all the Natural State has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. 5 miles west of I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell at an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
What's cracking, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. Winter's over and I'm feeling like a spring chicken. So if your old ride's a rotten egg, don't let it spoil your spring. This month you could get an excellent deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Each one handpicked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. I don't care if your old ride is fried, scrambled, or hard-boiled, because right now you could trade up when you trade it in, even if you're still making payments or you owe more than it's worth. My non-commissioned sales staff will help you trade in that bad egg and drive away sunny side up in a nicer, newer car for the same or possibly even lower monthly payment. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for spring in our Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. So hop into spring in a nicer, newer car, but hurry, a deal this good will spoil fast. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends April 30th, 2021.
Ramos Roofing is a local roofing company and have over 25 years of experience in the Oklahoma area. Are you looking for a residential or commercial roofing need? Ramos Roofing is the business you can trust, offering discounts for senior citizens, law enforcement, and healthcare workers. Ramos Roofing can help you with your insurance claim. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home. Call 479-420-9903. That's 479-420-9903 for Ramos Roofing.
They say, trust the process. But if enjoyment isn't part of that process, don't trust the process. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told you.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from The Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, The Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call The Fence Man and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Ask Shelter agents Brandon Zimmerman or Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Each day we see familiar faces who have supported us from the beginning because they see the benefits of an active lifestyle. We're also always meeting new customers who are taking their first steps towards making running or walking a part of daily life. We have the opportunity to share in their successes and help them achieve their goals. The people of Fort Smith and the River Valley are why we believe we were voted one of the best running stores in America. Visit us and see how we can help you. True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Flag has it deflected by Davis. Arkansas with a steal ahead to Smith, and he throws it down.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from Tuning.
Getting closer and closer to the NFL draft. When you look at Arkansas guys that have the potential to be drafted, picked up on a free agent deal, maybe make a roster, what are some pros? What are some cons? We'll get Clay's take on that coming up.
Hey, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion Brett Goods on the winning team at Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. He can help you tackle all your employee benefits, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. If you need commercial or personal insurance, whether it's auto, home, life insurance, he can handle all of that for you. Hey, give Brett a call. Whether it's a text or a phone call, he's there to help you. 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292. You're the HR person that handles benefits. Hey, you've got a small company and you're looking for the right retirement package for your employees, or you're ready to start over with employee benefits, Brett's there to guide you through the process. 651-2292 for Brett Good with Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions.
Clay, we were talking earlier about this soundbite from Nick Saban.
And I tell our players all the time, the two most compelling words in the draft report is and but.
He goes on talking about the pros, the cons of certain players, what they did on the field, the leadership qualities they may have, and then some of the things that he wished they could get back from early mistakes in their career. When you look at Arkansas guys, and the main three we've been discussing so far this morning has been Felipe Franks, Jonathan Marshall, Rakeem Boyd. Maybe there's a name or two that you think needs to be brought up. What are some ands and buts that you think stand out amongst those players?
Yeah, I don't think there are any on Jonathan Marshall. I think, character-wise, everything you could have, I think he's going to make a bunch of money for a long time. I mean, he is just an oak tree in the middle of the line. And I think that he's going to, he's not a pass rush specialist per se, so that'll keep him from being a, first or second rounder, but he's probably a third or fourth, which is, really good for a nose tackle. But he's going to get a good contract, and I think he'll flourish in the NFL just because of the way he plays. And he's just so strong. The buts and with any running back is, how's he stayed on the field? How's he been healthy? Well, that's Rakeem Boyd's flaw. And he's, and then the other butt is, why did he leave Texas A&M? Well, he flunked out. He didn't go to class. Well, what happened at Arkansas? Well, he opted out. So that's the and buts there. The players that listen to their agents and think, well, opting out is going to help me. It's also a negative slash. It's one of those deals that has to be explained, and he may not can explain it right, and that will be the tough thing for him. And so I think that he'll have some teams that don't want him because of that. So yeah, and I will say this about the ands or the buts. The NFL, that's what they do best this time of year is they put those little X's and blemish marks by these guys' names. And the quarterbacks, if they have any, then they just plummet. And like Ryan Mallett, he's lucky that the Patriots are one of those teams that they like to scoop up the talented guys that have the blemish marks by their names, and so he ended up still going pretty high. But there are a lot of teams that that shied away because of off the field problems that were perceived to be around Ryan Mallett.
I look past that. So when they go about these evaluations, you brought up Jonathan Marshall seemingly have any, how would you in your shoes go about how do you reconcile the on the field talent for maybe some off the field issues? How would you go about that?
Yeah, see, that's the critical aspect of, okay, what position do they play? If they're a quarterback and they're going to be the face of your franchise, you just don't make those mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're really careful with those guys. The other positions, maybe not as much. It's the importance of the position in the key with how it fits into the integral parts of your workings of your team. That's when But if they've got first round ability, you look past those. It's just you just go ahead and go for it. But maybe not at the quarterback position. So. For first-round picks. You spend first-round money, they need to have kind of a clean bill of health, so to speak. And I'm not talking about their knees. I'm talking about their minds and how they, their character. But, like Jonathan Marshall, he didn't have any of that stuff. I mean, he's as solid and as good a person and, is just an impressive teammate. I don't think we realized how good he was last year in the middle of that defensive line.
And you think about, Tommy, it had to wear on him knowing that he was really the only one that was getting pressure consistently, and he knew he was not going to just get double teamed, but at times triple teams. And to like what Clay said, there didn't seem to be any animosity from him in that locker room, because when you feel like you're pulling more weight sometimes than others, that can get to certain people.
He didn't care. He didn't care if they put 5 on him. He didn't care.
Well, if they're putting 2 on you and someone else is like basketball. Someone's open, so to speak. So if they're not, that was part of the way Arkansas aligned too, I guess, Clay, when you particularly in that 3-down lineman said it was a little easier to pick up a guy in the middle but he was one that when the offensive coordinators were putting together the game plan, here's the guy that can wreck us. Here's the guy that if we don't stop him, he's going to make our quarterback's life miserable all day. We've got to do something to make sure Jonathan Marshall doesn't foil our game plan.
You guys know how I watch football. I mean, I put my field glasses on the center, the nose tackle, and see those matchups. So I watched that a lot. And what I saw is Bumper Poole and Grant Morgan were never getting touched. And you know why? Because there was 2 or 3 guys blocking, Marshall right in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got a guy that can command that kind of attention in the middle, your linebackers have an awful lot of fun because they can flow and there's nobody under them, there's nobody touching them, and they can slide and slither, and that's what Grant Morgan is. He's a slithering linebacker, just kind of slithers through those holes. But it was because of Jonathan Marshall, and he'll miss that guy. But I watched Jalen Williams and Isaiah Nichols and Tareen Carter. They're going to have good replacements at nose tackle, but it's not going to be a guy that plays 60, 70 snaps. It's going to have to be 2 or 3 guys that roll at that position.
All right, Thursday night NFL Draft. You can hear complete coverage right here on all these ESPN radio stations of the 2021 NFL Draft. Hey, stop by Art's Barbecue and Burgers. The weekends are special because they bring out that smoked ribeye or the smoked ribeye. Then during the week they have the smoked Philly beef sandwich. They start on the weekends with taking the whole ribeye, they smoke it up, and then they slice off a ribeye for you, and then they grill it to perfection. If you want it medium, you want it medium rare, you want it a little more done, and it has got a delicious smoked flavor that you won't find anywhere else but at Art's. During the week, try the smoked Philly beef sandwich, cooked to perfection. It's got the cheese just coming off of it. It is just a gorgeous lunch entree that you can try today at Art's Barbecue and Burgers. Ribeyes on the weekends, Friday and Saturday, smoked low and slow to perfection. And then you can try that Philly beef sandwich any day of the week that you like at Art's Barbecue and Burgers. Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's. Call ahead for service at their drive-thru window, 452-2550, or any of the delivery services can bring you Art's Barbecue and Burgers.
Coming up, what do you want to know about Chuck Barrett? That's next on the Morning Rush.
So, you upgraded to the elevated ride of the 2021 Toyota Highlander.
New Highlander, Mr. D?
Yeah, figured it was time for something nicer, more refined.
Look at this thing. I mean, that moonroof is pretty sweet.
It's extremely stylish.
That's not all. As you can see, it has leather seats, dual-zone climate control,
and comes with all the latest tech.
And Android Auto. Check out this 12.3-inch touchscreen. Great for navigation, hands-free communication, music.
Awesome.
The Highlander also has loads of space and even a third-row seat.
Did I see 5 USB ports?
You sure did, buddy.
Perfect place for your daughter's new boyfriend.
This is so embarrassing.
Elevate every ride in the new 2021 Highlander.
Get $1,500 customer cash, or qualified lessees can lease a new 2021 Highlander L for only $279 a month for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at toyota.com for feature availability. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and end 5/3/21.
It's the 43rd anniversary sale, April 23rd through May the 3rd at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Cash and carry on above ground pools starting at $19.99 during the anniversary sale. Check out semi-in-ground pools for less than $10,000. Plus big savings on chemical packages available during the 43rd anniversary sale. It's all at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas. They're your source for backyard fun.
This is Brett Good, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Everyone loves to be on a winning team. That is why I have joined Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. Henderson Phillips can help you tackle all your employee benefit, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. Plus, I can help you with any commercial or personal insurance need. Come join my team at Henderson Phillips. Call me, Brett Good, at 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
Have you ever been to River City Bistro for a brunch on the weekends? Every Saturday and Sunday, River City is open at 10 a.m. with a special brunch menu. Eggs and omelets any way you like. Premium bacon, sausage and ham, waffles, eggs Benedict, and a great drink menu featuring mimosas, Bloody Marys, and all your brunch favorites. We will see you for brunch every Saturday and Sunday starting at 10 a.m. at River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Picture a can of paint. Now picture a professional painter. Now picture a can of paint from the paint store in Van Buren, perfectly applied by a professional or possibly you. Painting your house could be a pain, and people who think painting as a pain prefer professional paint and pointers from the paint store in Van Buren. The paint store has the best Richards paint and expertly picked colors specifically for you. Need a professional product or a professional? It's the paint store in Van Buren.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a live jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad. My buddy said, man, you gotta call AshleyAir.com.
Spring has sprung and the summer heat will be here soon. Now is a great time to upgrade your air conditioning system. From now until the end of May, Carrier's Cool Cash rebates will save you up to $1,500 on a new heating and cooling system. Schedule your free estimate today at AshleyAir.com.
When your air conditioner breaks, you know who to call. There's only one choice. AshleyAir.com.
Hey, grounds guys.
Hey, what?
How'd you like to mow my lawn?
You betcha. If you want your lawn professionally maintained, the Grounds Guys is your one-stop shop. The Grounds Guys will mow, trim, edge, blow away all the debris off your sidewalks and driveway, and keep your lawn the envy of the neighborhood all year long. Call 479-303-GUYS. That's 303-GUYS. Or go to groundsguys.com for all your lawn care needs in Northwest Arkansas and the Fort Smith area. The Grounds Guys. Leave the yard work to us.
When was
was the last time you looked forward to seeing the dentist? Well, if it's been a while or you haven't had the best of experience with dentistry, meet Marcy Van Ash McKinney of Family Dentistry. They take care of it all: crowns, bonding, dentures, bleaching, and cosmetic dentistry. They even offer oral consciousness sedation available for your comfort. That's Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry at 807 South 21st. Call for an appointment today, 494-7600. That's 494-7600.
Walk-On's Fort Smith has taken the River Valley by storm with the great Cajun food and drinks they offer every single day. Stop on by for some of the best food you've ever had at 4306 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. For to-go orders, give them a call at 479-974-9255 or check them out online at walkons.com. Every Tuesday is Fat Tuesday with $5 Tuesday specials. There's a reason Walk-Ons was voted as ESPN's #1 sports bar. Come see why. Walk-On's Fort Smith, better than a sports bar, more fun than a restaurant.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we're looking at a good deal of cloudiness coming in with a bit of a breeze from the south. Some areas picking up gusts between 20 and 30 miles per hour. Highs are ranging from the upper 70s to near 80. We are ramping up our chances for showers and thunderstorms for tonight, especially the further north that you go. Lows are into the low to mid 60s. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Follow us on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
Allen gets the snap, got all kinds of time. He's going to fire to the sideline, complete to Henry, but Hunter well shy of the first down. He's going to lateral it back. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Collins. Alex has got room at the 30, 25, 20. Collins at the 15, cuts back at the 10. This game's still alive, and the Hogs have a first down. Hunter Henry lateraled it back over his head, Keith, and we're still playing football.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You are causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine.
That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong?
Lloyd! The Morning Rush starts right now.
Got some headlines to get to in hour number 3 on a Toyota Tuesday here on The Morning Rush. The question that was posed before hour number 2 concluded is, what do you want to know about the voice of the Arkansas Razorbacks, Mr. Chuck Barrett? He'll be joining me on Trusting the Process later today. I'm doing a show with two guys that know him very well. We'll get their thoughts as well as your thoughts coming up here on The Morning Rush.
Hey, if it's time for new gates or fence repairs or a new fence at your home or office, call the Fence Man. He's the one to call for large commercial jobs or small residential jobs, even residential repairs. They do it all. Wood privacy fences, vinyl fencing, commercial fencing, residential chain link, custom wrought iron fencing. As you can see, anything kind of on the menu involving fences, they do. Custom fence installations. It doesn't matter. The Fence Man's there for you. 479-782-3936. They have 18 months, same as cash financing as well. That's 782-3936 for the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Three-pointer on the way. No good. Qualls with the dunk at the buzzer. It goes and Arkansas wins. It goes and Arkansas wins. That's a grand slam home run. Brady Toops just hit a grand slam home run.
Flynn, shotgun formation into the end zone. The pass is intercepted. Arkansas wins the ball game. Intercepted in the end zone.
Deep down the right sideline for Crawford. Touchdown, Arkansas! Touchdown, Arkansas! London Crawford with the reception. The Hogs are going to Omaha. The Razorbacks have beaten Baylor, and we've got a mob scene out by the pitcher's mound, the dog pile, as the Hogs punch their ticket to Omaha. Colby Suggs with the strikeout, and the Razorbacks are headed to the College World Series.
So there are some of Chuck Barrett's best calls over the years. You think about him taking over baseball in the early 90s, taking over basketball after Mike Nail in 2009, and then taking over football following the year that Mike did in 2006. He'd take it over for the late, great Paul Eels in 2007. There's a lot of questions. I got about 25 questions prepped out. Clay, you've done this, and I obviously both of you guys have a relationship with Chuck that stems a lot longer than I have. Before we get going on some personal stuff, what do y'all think Chuck's best call has been?
Andrew Darr, 2009, Florida State, hits a alley shot to send Arkansas to the College World Series. In my mind, in my opinion, that's the best piece of play-by-play he's ever produced. It's perfect. I mean, but I listened to it a little different ear. Mechanically, it was just such a great fundamental call, and I remember listening to it the first time. I've listened back to that probably a dozen times. It was just probably a moment a lot of people have forgotten about because there's been other things, but it was Game 2, Tallahassee, Florida. Andrew Darr, a senior, comes to the plate and hits one right in the alley, and boom, Hogs scored 2, and they're headed to Omaha. I always thought that was his best call.
Yeah, I like the Toops call too. That was that was kind of chilling, listening to that one. And I wasn't at the game, and it was kind of his ability to paint the picture, and it didn't have to be a big moment. Just there have been so many times on a Sunday that I've been coming back from, say, the river, like I might cover the Friday night game. We would split them up, me, Dudley, and Matt Jones, the games on the weekend, so one guy, wasn't out there the whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be coming back from the river on Sunday afternoon and listening to Chuck, do the Sunday wrap-up of the series. And he would paint the picture where you knew everything that had happened. Baseball is unique in that there's some dead time, between at bats. And he would use that time to paint the picture and summarize the weekend. Mm-hmm. And he just was so good. And I just, he used to tell me when I went to practice, that was when we did live practice reports, Clay, I want you to paint the picture. And that's what he did.
Even if you weren't at the actual practice, you could still paint the picture.
Yeah, but that happened once. And
you lied to the listeners?
No, we didn't lie.
We gave a report.
No, we gave a report, but it was not about, it was about what was going to happen in the next game. Yeah. So the backstory on that is my daughter's finishing her college soccer career. She's a senior at Northeastern State, and they had a match, and I missed almost all the Saturday games because they're at the same time as Razorback games. So there was a Thursday game. It was their last. It was a Thursday afternoon in Tahlequah. They're playing Texas Wesleyan College or something. And I said, well, I'd really like to go to that game. And I said, I'm not going to be able to do the practice report Thursday. This is Sarah's last game. And he goes, well, you go and just take your phone. You got a good signal there at the soccer field? And I said, yeah. And he said, we'll call and we'll do a practice report. We will not say where you are. And so sure enough, and it was hilarious when when the time that he was going to call, I got out of the stands. Those college soccer games, there's no confinement. You can go sit your lawn chair up anywhere on the sideline. And I went down and stood near the corner flag. Well, Sarah takes corner kicks. And so ball goes out of bounds. I'm on the phone not far from the corner flag, and I'm talking to Chuck, and the whistle blows for a corner kick, and it was just perfect sound. The referee's right there. It sounds like I'm in practice, right? And Sarah runs over to take the corner kick, and she looks at me, and I'm talking to Chuck, and she just looked up there, nodded her head, knew exactly what I was doing, took the corner kick, and then Chuck finished it up. And it's like, well, what do you say? Well, I talked about what Sean Andrews was going to do to the Auburn defensive line in 2 days. We talked about those type things. And but Chuck never said I was at the soccer game or I was at the football practice. We just didn't say that. we didn't mislead in a direct way. How do you say that?
In a direct way. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man. We got some good text in here this morning. This comes from B in Clarksville. He says, Chuck and Quinn have great on-air chemistry similar to Phil and Bubba. How did Chuck get it so fast after Keith Jackson retired? I loved Keith Jackson. I thought he was fantastic, as I did with Paul Eels, and I think Quinn's done a really great job filling in that role. That is a good question I think it asked him, because I think their chemistry has been pretty solid.
Yeah, well, you got to remember Chuck and Quinn worked for a long time on that broadcast together, because Quinn was the sideline reporter for close to 25 years before he went up in the booth, Clay? Something along those lines. So they worked a long time together.
Yeah, Chuck was
the producer.
Yeah, he was the producer, and traveling on the road, eating dinners together, having breakfast together. You're kind of in your own little group for 2 or 3 days. Just think about this year. I think Zimmerman and Chuck are close now. Matt Zimmerman, it's because you travel together.
Yeah.
Chuck traveled with Zim on the basketball trips. When Matt was an assistant for Mike Anderson, so it's that traveling together, having dinners, going out a little bit, spending 3 hours together at a restaurant. That's what the buying, the bond comes from. But yeah, those guys have a natural chemistry. Now, what I will say is that, Chuck was a huge Quinn Grovey fan from growing up, so that was part of it, is that he loved Quinn and loved to watch him play. And so, I think that Quinn, his charisma is pretty obvious, that he's got that quarterback magic. So that, you like anytime you're around Grovey, you're going to enjoy that time.
Yeah, and by the way, I think this needs to be brought up. Tiderson Witcherville is wondering what happened to Chuck. Chuck's not dead. Just a little PSA. He's just joining me for a long-form interview later today on Trust in the Process. Want to make sure that we are very clear about that.
You're just going to be doing an interview.
Yeah. BEG and Rogers texting. He says, I think Chuck has done a great job of being himself. Ask him how difficult it was not trying to be Paul Eels, and that's definitely something we'll dive into later on this afternoon. When you take over a position that Chuck did, and it was very smart of the University of Arkansas, or RSN, whatever it was at the time, to have Mike settle in for that year doing football, because that would have been a really awkward situation. And I think
it was really a short amount of time, because Paul's passing happened in July, and then you were weeks away from the start of the season.
Yeah, last day of July.
Mm-hmm. So that's something that I wonder, because there's so much, and not that there's not love for Chuck, because I love Chuck. Chuck's been awesome to me, but it's difficult to take over a legend. And let's be frank, Paul Eels is a legend in this state, and
the only one that could have done it for that year was a legend, and that was Mike
Nail. So that's something that we'll dive into as well. James in Charleston has similar thoughts to that. Let's see. This one comes from Ryan in Hot Springs. What do you think Chuck's favorite moment is from all three sports? Do you guys have an idea of what that might be, or is that just something I'll have to weasel out of him later this afternoon?
I couldn't answer that for him. So I would imagine the national championship in basketball, but he may have another one now that he's been doing the games. So
I don't know what he would say. Yep.
What else from y'all before we move on?
Well,
Anything?
I mentioned this earlier. This business is such a grind. Not everyone gets to start at the top like you have, Ty. Getting to work with Clay and me, and your first job here, was working with Phil Elson. A lot of it starts by going to city councils meetings, school board meetings, and in the grunt work of radio.
Yeah, he was a DJ too.
Right.
You can ask him about those. He is a radio guy. Came up through the business in Fort Smith, and it's Bruce Stanton might remember those days, because I think he probably was running the paper, and Chuck was they're chasing after the same stuff in Fort Smith. Yeah.
I worked in small town radio for a while, so I didn't do probably as much of that as some others, but I've been to the Hector school board meeting. I've been to the Atkins city council meeting. You've been to parades and festivals, and I mean, you do Thursday and Friday and Saturday ball games, play by play, because those were the things that how the station ground out a living. So those are the things that people don't see. You see the finished product when you're in your 50s. You didn't see everything that happened in your 20s and 30s to get there to that point.
So speaking
Business
to that,
has changed.
Yeah, the magic that I always saw with Chuck, he and Matt Shanklin was part of this, but he put together that baseball radio network, and he also put together a syndicated show. When he started the Sports Wrap, he went to those, what do you call it, the radio association?
There's the ABA convention in Little Rock.
Yeah, so he would go to that and work the room. And I went with him one time. He asked me to. We did a remote from the DoubleTree Hotel from the lobby, but there was a smoker that night that we went to, and all the general managers and owners of all the small radio stations all across the state were there. And he knew them all by their first name, knew their wives' names, knew their assistants, general manager or what it would be, whether it be Helena, El Dorado, Lake Village, Paragould, Blytheville, all the Northwest Arkansas stations all through the river. He knew every one of those general managers, and they knew him as a radio guy. And his value in how he put together the Razorback baseball broadcast network was just magical. And it's because he's a radio guy. And so in some ways, well before he was known as the voice of the Razorback, he was beloved by all those station managers who brought them product that they could sell. Right, Tommy?
You said it very well there. Then that was the backbone, for really building what he had. So, and that was with Sports Wrap that got him to that point. So, absolutely. All right, so that's coming up on Trusting the Process. Normally you drop that on Fridays. So you're going to drop it early this week, or?
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea for me to try and do it down in Louisiana. So
okay, so that makes sense.
You finally have worked your way up to doing one of these that has some real value.
You tell me you weren't real valuable?
No,
to our
but
listeners?
I'm telling you that some of them that you've done, I just kind of scratched my head. You want
to go into specifics?
Well, I'd say 80% of them. And when I say that is media should not be the story. If you were doing these things on a Razorback legend as opposed to media, it would go better. But anyway,
the whole
it's too late now. You've already done it.
Well, here's the thing, Clay. The Hog Pod pretty much does all that, and I don't want to basically just copy whatever Bo and them are doing. So my thought was these media, like yourself, don't necessarily get enough credit for all the work the hard work, the blood.
The media should not be the story. I'm just telling you that. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Chuck is different, and he's a standalone guy. The rest of us aren't.
So I should just delete the project overall is what you're saying?
No,
just stop doing it?
You can do one or two more, but just let it fade into oblivion.
Okay, Clay. All right, we'll agree to disagree.
So when are you dropping this? Tomorrow?
I mean, it'll pop up today.
It'll be cool. It'll be cool.
After
I look forward to it.
An extensive editing process, it'll be ready?
Yeah, it takes me about 45 minutes to edit or so.
All right, so looking forward to that on Trusting the Process, and that's brought to you by the Arnold team.
Arnold team at Wildcard Realtors. Appreciate Travis and Carolyn being a part of that for sure.
All right, you bought your steaks yet?
I have not bought my steaks yet.
All right,
so
let me and Clay know so we can be there to eat them. So
we'll see.
That's part of the deal, right?
Oh, you're going to have fun. That'll be a lot. Just enjoy them, and you deserve the steaks for doing these projects on all these silly media people.
All right, brought to you by River City Bistro. That is a great place to eat. Talking to Bruce yesterday, and I'm going to tell you the patio right now, we're just sitting outside and enjoying this awesome weather. We're in, there's about 2 or 3 really good months of the year. This and October and probably the end of March and first part of May are some of the best days of the year in Arkansas. And right now is a great time to go to River City Bistro, whether it's lunch today, dinner tonight, brunch on the weekend. and enjoy a great outdoor dining experience at River City Bistro. They're at 7320 Rogers. They're in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center. And whether it's Reuben sandwich and some of their house-made chips for lunch, whether it's stopping in tonight for a salad or maybe their blackened chicken Alfredo, or like we said, the brunch menu on the weekend that's just outstanding. It's all at River City Bistro. Try the outdoor dining. You'll love it. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Kevin Kopps gets SEC Co-Pitcher of the Week. He also gets named Collegiate Baseball Newspaper's National Player of the Week. I know that he had a stellar week along with Kumar Rocker, the pitcher for the Vanderbilt Commodores. Sean Lee, Cowboys linebacker, longtime linebacker, has been in the league for 11 years. He's retired and had over 800 tackles. That's what he told ESPN's Todd Archer. Clay, I don't know if you're a Buffalo Wings fan, but according to Business Insider, the United States is facing a chicken wing shortage. Is this
drummies and flats or just drummies?
I think both. So
I could live without the flats. I mean, I'll eat them, but if we're without drummies, that's a problem.
Is beer the only thing that could be worse that's facing the United States in terms of a shortage? Clay, what would be the worst shortage? Red meat?
I don't know. I mean,
well, we found out toilet paper.
Yeah, you can go in my laundry room and you can see Charmin stacked to the ceiling now.
So you're the reason we're having a shortage. All right.
Well,
people like you.
Yeah, I did it. It's my fault. Yeah, it's my poop that is had to be wiped. Yeah.
Well, let me since we're just on the subject, might as well just keep going down this rabbit hole. You guys know the hot sauce Tapatio?
Uh-huh.
I love that stuff, but my goodness, that tears me up more than any other hot sauce on the face of the planet. And I forget about it every time. I'm like, why haven't I bought this in a while?
Is it on a shortage too?
It's not on a shortage, but it definitely Clay, it tears me up.
So what do you do if you're Buffalo Wild Wings, your Hooters, your Wingstop, any of these wing places that the whole business is built around?
You pitch the fish, right?
Wings. What do you do now if you can't get wings?
Quesadillas. Nachos, yeah. I mean, I'll just go that direction.
I mean, I don't know what you mean. When
good old hamburger works too.
When wings is in the name and you don't have wings, you got a problem, right?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's not. And there's not any, not any fake wings to be found, right?
Well, they call them boneless wings, but they're just chicken nuggets, right?
Boneless nugs.
Chicken nuggets, yeah. That's what they'll be selling. I bet you that it doesn't stay down long. I bet the wings bounce back. So, but you're right. We're gonna. Is it the freeze down in Texas that's caused this problem?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's still experiencing harsh events because of that.
All right, 43rd anniversary sales underway at Burton Pools and Spas. They're giving away an awesome Louisiana pellet grill. You can go to hitthatline.com, find the link there, and get yourself signed up. Also at burtonpools.com. We're going to be giving this away May 3rd, I believe it is. So it's part of their anniversary sale that runs through May the 3rd. They also got cash and carry items on above-ground pools for less than $2,000. Semi-in-ground pools still under $10,000. And big discounts on chemical packages as well right now. The 43rd anniversary sale. Be sure and get signed up at hitthatline.com/Burtons for your chance to win a great brand-new grill from Burton Pools and Spa. Springdale and Fort Smith, your source for backyard fun.
Coming up is Kevin Kopps, the MVP of this baseball team. That's next on the Morning Rush.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got puppies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This song might make you feel cool, but it perfectly describes a fool. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road and gonna ride till I can't no more, and can't nobody tell me nothing. This path will only lead you to God's wrath, because the Bible says the wicked refuse discipline and treat his words like trash. What good is a nice beat when you're headed down the wrong street? I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese. He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe in a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Ask Shelter agent Phil Hicks about a free insurance review.
Wheels RV in Springdale wants you to seek out all the Natural State has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. 5 miles west of I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from Wild World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional, Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recordings anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, Wild World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH for more details, or stop by our location at the corner of Phoenix and Rogers, or visit us online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partner. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas, or check them out on the web at artriallawyers.com.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
The pitch. He struck him out swinging, and the Razorbacks will get out of Texas with a perfect 3-0 record.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Brought to you by Breeden RV Center. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey, y'all want to do me a favor the next 30 minutes of the show? Try not to make me laugh, because I had abs back-to-back days. My not pectorals, but the thingamajigs are sores I'll get out. So try not to tell any
That's why I don't do
jokes.
abs. So I quit doing sit-ups and crunches,
Is that why?
Exactly. I don't want to be sore when I laugh.
Well, there's so much comedic relief on this program every weekday from 6 to 9. I really pity anyone that does ab work.
Yeah.
It's just like
I do one sit up a day.
Clay told it.
Sit up out of bed and then sit back down.
Yeah.
Clay told and Tommy told a joke during the break, and my stomach started vibrating and it started hurting. So y'all just keep it. Y'all keep it easy these next 30 minutes.
All right, we'll try not to be funny.
No dad or Aggie jokes.
We're pretty good at not being funny. Hey, I said out last night, Mosquito Joe, I know they can get rid of mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas. Can they add gnats to the list? Because I'm going to tell you, I set out, Clay, how do you get rid of the gnats? I sat on my patio last night. I finally had to go in.
Call Mosquito Joe.
I guess Mosquito Joe. Can they come get rid of the gnats on my patio? Because last night they were bad. If you're battling gnats, mosquitoes, ticks, fleas, all those things that can ruin the outdoor experience, call Mosquito Joe, an Arkansas family-owned business. And right now they'll make outside fun again for you starting at $39. Call 479-202-9960. That's 202-9960. The mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas will disappear from your yard this spring and summer. Go to arkansas.mosquitojoe.com for more details. And again, mention you heard it right here on the Morning Rush. And your first service is only $39. That's 202-9960 for Arkansas Mosquito Joe.
So Kevin Kopp's potentially being the MVP of this baseball team is not anything to laugh or scoff at. Clay, you wrote a good piece on him. Again, we addressed earlier, talked with Norm DeBryan a little bit. Looking at what this baseball team is and what they've been this season, do you think he's the MVP of this team?
Yeah, I mean, it's they've got some others that are candidates too, and that's I think the kind of the guy behind the scenes that maybe we don't talk about enough is Casey Opitz, because he can go behind the plate and you can have a runner on third, and any of the pitchers know they can bury one in the dirt. Opitz is going to stop it, and we've seen a lot of runs scored by the Razorbacks on wild pitches. Runner at third and the catcher doesn't get it, and that's not happening when Opitz is back there. But hey, with the Kops, there's no runners at third base.
Well,
they're not getting there. Yeah.
The other part to that is, pitchers are trying to nibble at the edges, throw it in the dirt, because this Arkansas lineup, is dangerous.
Yeah.
So when you do those things and you live on the edge a little bit, you put your catcher in a bad situation. Yeah, it's a ball they should catch, but when you're throwing it low and you're trying to keep it out of the zone, like you've got to do with these Arkansas hitters, it leads to those opportunities, and you get tight with that guy at third, and you make a mistake, and then the next thing you know, the runner's coming home.
Yeah, it's really hard to really, keep from appreciating what Kopp's has done. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, when he did it at South Carolina, now I won't say South Carolina is not a fearsome lineup. They win with pitching, and their hitting is off. Like they bat 260 as a team, and against right-handers they bat like 220. So they don't have much of a chance against a right-handed pitcher anyway. Left-handers they're a little better, but even against Wicklander they didn't get very many good swings, and he's a lefty. But Kopp's is doing stuff that not many in college baseball. There's just nobody's getting a good swing at him, and he's not overpowering. He is going up there and he's throwing, a breaking pitch, 9 out of 10 pitches, and then every once in a while he throws a fastball, and you're so stunned you can't swing at it either. I mean, it's just like it's going to break. It's going to. Oh, that was a fastball, and it's in the catcher's mitt.
Arkansas's had their struggles at LSU since they built Alex Box. They've not won a series there. That goes back to 2009. I mean, this is the team built to do it. But Clay on the road at LSU, it hadn't been pretty for Arkansas in the last 12 years.
Yeah, and LSU's it's not vintage LSU, but they've been kind of beat up with injuries, and they've got a few guys back, and they played really well at Ole Miss this weekend. So I'm sure they got a little bit of confidence going, and this will be a tough weekend to continue that streak of winning every series.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully won't get a whiskey bottle thrown at me this weekend. Clay, we'll discuss a little bit more on Friday, kind of my game plan down there with you. But it's going to be a fun week. Anytime you play LSU, whether it's basketball, and I think the Will Wade dynamic has definitely upped it in basketball. Football, we know Tiger Stadium, Baton Rouge, Louisiana are playing here in Donald W., the great games that have happened over the years. But this baseball series, man, for whatever reason, Paul Mainieri's had something on Dave Van Horn.
Yeah.
It doesn't, and even like this, like you just mentioned it, Clay, even with Arkansas clearly having the better team, and you brought it up
always
earlier.
Mattered.
It isn't necessarily the case.
Yeah.
If I see a possum on the field this weekend, I'm going to run out and kill it myself.
It's called baseball.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Hey, swung by Clean Cooking in Fort Smith yesterday, and wherever you're listening, whether it's the River Valley, Fort Smith, or Fayetteville, Van Buren, Bentonville, Greenwood, Siloam Springs, there's a Clean Cooking near you to help you with your meal prep. And they have got kind of a new lineup. They put some new meals in the lineup, kind of refreshed the card there of the 16 meals that they've got.
Vote on the Clean 16 on Facebook. They're doing a little bracket right now.
I even got us a bottle of the sweet barbecue sauce so we can kind of spice up our different ones. So I'm loaded back up and ready to go for the week. They got some new breakfast items as well that you can add. So you can
chorizo, maple bacon. Oh, it's so good.
And we've been telling you how good the brisket is and how good the pulled pork is and the roasted chicken. You can buy that by the pound as well at Clean Cooking. You'll be amazed how good it is. It's all at Clean Cooking. Go to cleancooking.com. Stuart Rowland's got an awesome business, a great business idea there, and I think you're really going to like it. So if meal prep's a problem for you, head to Clean Cooking, read their menu online at cleancooking.com or see them at any of their locations. Eating healthy does not have to be punishment at Clean Cooking.
Coming up, one more segment on a Toyota Tuesday of the Morning Rush.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
The Mega Millions jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $200 million. So, what would you do if you won?
If I won a big jackpot, I would build a huge mansion next to Mount Magazine.
If I won, I would travel, and I would travel, and I would travel some more.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Mega Millions jackpot of more than $200 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Shangri-La Resort. The Carr family would like to thank all of our customers over the last 40 years that have made Shangri-La home. We've had so many return visitors over the years, and that's thanks to you. Do you need a place to take the family for vacation? Or how about a work trip? Or just a day on the water? Shangri-La Resort is the place to call. Give the Carr family a ring at 870-867-2011 at Shangri-La Resort. Check out Shangri-La Resort online at shangrilaresort.net. Shangri-La Resort, a touch of paradise and a boatload of fun.
It's the 43rd anniversary sale, April 23rd through May the 3rd at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Cash and carry on above-ground pools starting at $19.99 during the anniversary sale. Check out semi-in-ground pools for less than $10,000. Plus big savings on chemical packages available during the 43rd anniversary sale. It's all at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas. They're your source for backyard fun.
Hey, Tommy here. I want to take a minute to tell you about our friends at R-Track, I-40 at exit 58 in Clarksville. They've been around 17 years doing things right, providing great value to their customers with compact tractors and outdoor equipment to the Arkansas River Valley. See the full line of LS brand tractors with 22 to over 100 horsepower models available. Nearly all feature a front-end loader for maximum utility. It's all at R-Track, exit 58 off I-40 in Clarksville. That is R-Track in Clarksville.
Ramos Roofing is a local roofing company and have over 25 years of experience in the Oklahoma area. Are you looking for a residential or commercial roofing need? Ramos Roofing is the business you can trust. Offering discounts for senior citizens, law enforcement, and healthcare workers. Ramos Roofing can help you with your insurance claim. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home. Call 479-420-9903. That's 479-420-9903 for Ramos Roofing. The Golf Nut has a great selection of shoes arriving weekly. Choose from Nike, FootJoy, Echo, Under Armour, New Balance, Asics, Puma, and Adidas. While you're there, pick up a hat or check out the wide selection of apparel and accessories. Need golf balls? In stock now. The new TaylorMade TP5s or the Titleist Pro V1 or Pro V1X golf balls. Check Facebook for daily specials and new arrivals. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. Your #1 golf shop since 1994. Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
I told you that front tire needed air.
I know, Dad.
Where's the tire iron? I told you, always keep a tire iron in a jack.
I know, Dad. I got it. Roadside assistance is included with my shelter insurance auto policy. It's one of the reasons you told me to get it, remember?
Maybe you do listen after all.
At Shelter, listening to you is what we do best.
Ask Shelter agents Wade Gilkey about a free insurance review.
What's cracking, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. Winter's over and I'm feeling like a spring chicken. So if your old ride's a rotten egg, don't let it spoil your spring. This month you could get an excellent deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Each one handpicked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. I don't care if your old ride is fried, scrambled, or hard-boiled, because right now you could trade up when you trade it in, even if you're still making payments or you owe more than it's worth. My non-commissioned sales staff will help you trade in that bad egg and drive away sunny side up in a nicer, newer car for the same or possibly even lower monthly payment. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for spring in our Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. So hop into spring in a nicer, newer car, but hurry, a deal this good will spoil fast. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends April 30th, 2021.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Drops it in to Sarr. Sarr from midcourt. Pass stolen away by Davis to the other end. Arkansas wins the game.
I'm going to try this call-in number.
Call or text the Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
My first official call-in.
Back here on the Morning Rush, going to tell you what's going in the Bud Light Seltzer Morning Rush podcast coming up in just a sec.
Brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 on 549 in Springdale. Get out and explore. We got some great weather going on. They've got all the best brands to go along with it. Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, Alliance. It's all for you at Wheels RV. And they give you a lifetime warranty on every new unit they sell at Wheels. So you've got peace of mind knowing that there's not going to be an issue. And even if there is a minor problem, they got a mobile service shuttle that'll come to you to keep you camping with Wheels RV. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. That's Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 on 549 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Talked about Kevin Copps. Clay wrote a really good piece on Whole Hog Sports, Hogs Illustrated, about just him talking with Norton O'Brien and just kind of the dynamic he brings, debating on who you want to draft or not. Really good soundbite from Nick Saban yesterday, talking about just kind of his philosophy, the ands or the buts. What do you want to be more prevalent when you're going through the draft process as a player? Chuck Barrett's going to be joining me later on Trusting the Process today. Tommy and Clay and our listeners gave some good questions to ask, some good insight on Chuck, and then also Clay gave us his take on some NFL prospects that, particularly wearing a Razorback uniform, that we're gonna keep an eye on. But we are getting closer to the NFL draft, and this feels to me, y'all tell me if I'm wrong, March Madness. March Madness is awesome. I love it. It's my favorite time of the year. Mm-hmm. But in this state, you're not as heavily involved with it unless Arkansas's in the tournament. You're not going to be involved on Thursday night. Arkansas will probably not be mentioned one time during ESPN's NFL draft coverage you can hear.
What'd you say? 6 players are going to be drafted from Alabama, Clay. The highlights. From
6 in the first round.
6. That's what I'm saying. On Thursday night there will be 6. So, what game highlights do you think they'll run? It seemingly always is the Arkansas game that they pick the highlights.
Devontae didn't have a great game against
they
Arkansas
played
this year.
they played cloud coverage in that game and kept him from going deep. I think he had 2 catches. If I'm not. But yeah, that's.
It just seems like that's
now
always.
You may see some Najee Harris runs.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me. You said 6. Let me see, Clay. Let me see if I can name the 6. Najee Harris, Devontae Smith, Mac Jones, Patrick Surtain. Is it Alex Leatherwood?
Yep.
Okay, 6. The 6 has got a. It's
lineman up there.
It's
Landon Dickerson, the center.
Landon Dickerson with
and then
is it
Christian Barrymore, the defensive tackle? I think those might be that might be more than 6.
Is it Dylan Moses? And is he a first round prospect
I'm not
too?
sure. He's a prospect. I'm not sure he's a first rounder, but yeah, you're right. He's a good player.
Yeah.
And there's a couple more that'll probably be drafted.
Yeah, and I get, like, SmackDown being our residential Dallas Cowboys fans. You and I don't really flock to an NFL fandom. If I had to pick one, it'd be the Green Bay Packers, but fantasy has kind of killed that. Clay, do you align with the Kansas City Chiefs, or do you have an NFL team?
I probably watch the Chiefs more,
Okay.
but not only because they're good right now. That's not, I don't have a team. I probably grew up as a Cowboys fan, but they've been bad for so long. I just, they don't entertain me anymore, so I don't watch their games. Now, Dudley Dawson is going to watch them every week. He's got Dallas Cowboy gear. I mean, the highlight every Christmas is he'll send me a text, look what I got. And it'll be some kind of Dallas Cowboys memorabilia, a jersey, a hat, a rug, a blanket, or a poster. I don't know how much you can get of that stuff, but he's got pretty much everything.
Okay. So let's stay within the frame of those 2 football teams, the Dallas Cowboys and Kansas City Chiefs, because you would probably say that's the most listeners we have.
No
Is there
question.
another team that I'm leaving out? Who's third?
Probably the Packers.
Packers.
There's a bunch of Packers fans.
There was a time when I think there were people around here that liked the Broncos. I don't know why, but maybe it's because people vacation in Colorado.
Atwater? I don't know.
Yep.
All right, so
Yep.
let's think about this. So Cowboys are seemingly interested. Jerry Jones loves him some Kyle Pitts, highest graded tight end in quite some time, the Florida kid. Moved to
Seems
Chiefs.
like a can't-miss prospect.
Yeah. Orlando Brown, they just picked him up from the Baltimore Ravens through a trade, and that was a position that the Chiefs needed, was offensive line. Now they've got those guys back from injury. That's going to be solidified because you need to protect the best quarterback in the NFL, that being Mr. Patrick Mahomes. Chiefs need what, a defensive lineman?
I think you can always use another pass rusher. So yeah, they're going to be drafted so late. I don't see them, getting anything that's what you would call an elite can't miss pass rusher. Those guys are going to be gone in the first 10 picks.
Yeah. So Dallas, and I know that Jerry's more sometimes he's you've been surprised when he doesn't go flash when it's there. I don't know if they're going to trade up to get Pitts or if he's going to be there when and I don't remember when the Cowboys draft, but the smart move, and it probably hurts Cowboys fans to say this because the idea of having Cedarius Lamb, Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott, Michael Gallup, Dak Prescott, and then the addition of Kyle Pitts is quite awesome. But your defense was still trash last year. Your offense had some offensive line injuries, which you can always – Clay, you mentioned defensive lineman. You can always use another offensive lineman. I wonder what the Cowboys are going to end up, because I think that's more intriguing than what the Chiefs are going to end up doing. And I wonder, Clay, what Jerry and Steven are going to make as far as their decision goes this upcoming Thursday.
Well, you just nailed it in earlier when you were talking about losing their best linebacker. He's retiring, Sean Lee. That's of course he wasn't making it through seasons the last couple of years anyway. But yeah, I think linebacker and a defensive lineman, and then maybe an offensive lineman. That's where you get better in the NFL, in my opinion. And you can get an offensive lineman in the third round. You doesn't have to be an offensive guard. And, sometimes there's some offensive guards that you can move out to tackle that played in college if you catch the right team. So, but, yeah, I'd say a linebacker would be where I would start if I was the Cowboys. But you're talking to somebody that doesn't follow the Cowboys that much.
Yeah. Big sports weekend, though. You think about draft on Thursday night is kind of going to be the star of the show for the national story, and I think a lot of people listening.
Right here, baby.
And you can hear it right here on the radio. You're going to have baseball. There'll be some SEC baseball that starts Thursday. The Hogs begin Friday night down at LSU. And then Saturday, you've got the Kentucky Derby. And it's the last and final 4 days of Oaklawn this year, as well as the Kentucky Derby action that's going on this weekend from Churchill. The $1.25 million Kentucky Oaks is on Friday, and then the $3 million Kentucky Derby's on Saturday. You can watch and enjoy all of it at Oaklawn this year. You can get the Oaklawn Anywhere app where you can watch and wager on the race. And I know that for a lot of people, that's a big event every year. You'll gather with friends and family and get together, even if you're not at Oaklawn, to do that. But don't forget about live racing. Last few days of live racing, the final 4 days of the 2021 meet is this weekend at Oaklawn. So enjoy the final 12-card race on Saturday that's going to be highlighted by the $300,000 Oaklawn Stakes. If you haven't got the Oaklawn Anywhere app, download it now. Use that promo code RUSH21, get a $150 sign-up bonus. You can use that towards the Kentucky Derby, the Kentucky Oaks on Friday. So there's going to be a lot of great horse racing along with the draft, along with baseball, along with a lot of other stuff going on this weekend as well. It's a big sports weekend. Oaklawn Anywhere. Go to oaklawnanywhere.com, get the app, use that promo code RUSH21, and get your $150 sign-up bonus.
Let's go to the phone line. Welcome in JW in London. JW, go ahead with your life lesson this morning.
Well, hey, Ty, I really appreciate how you're finding your voice in radio. You seem a little calmer this morning, which is nice. As you find your voice, and in the words of the poet-songwriter John Prine, the years just flow by like a broken down dam. So what I would suggest to you is that you really take some time and listen to this song by the Eagles. It's called New Kid in Town. Listen to it really carefully and kind of take it to heart, because there's always going to be a new kid in town, even as those years flow by with you. So anyway, you'll have a good weekend. Please try to stay out of trouble when you go down to Louisiana. Please do your best.
So Tommy's already been on high alert for this week.
I just hope to get the gear back. I just hope if you end up in a long-term maximum security facility, I somehow get the station's remote broadcast equipment returned.
It's not
somehow.
Confiscated as
evidence. It's evidence.
Well, it'll be in the vehicle, and whatchamacall will be in.
That's guaranteed to be towed,
There is
that. There's precedent on that.
I am a little nervous about the Razorback.
He did get it towed, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I forgot last night. I'm eating dinner with Pops, and he actually visited my brother and friends at the restaurant, and he asked, "Where'd you park?" And I pointed right out there, and he's like, "Isn't that a no parking zone?" I was like, "I'm right in front of it. It'll be fine." Sure enough, he was right, and $190 later.
What?
Whoa!
Last night?
No, like in Indianapolis when he was there. So no, I've learned my lesson. I typically haven't parked in no towing zone over the years, but I was feeling cocky and adventurous in Indianapolis, Indiana, and that's probably due to the Wild Beaver Saloon.
You not know who I am?
I'm Ty Richardson.
I would
got that bumper sticker on there. You know who I am?
Listen,
I'm from Arkansas, baby. We're building
I think you probably need a Tesla. They don't ever get towed.
That's true.
I'm the co-radio host of the week.
Yes.
That would be, you know what? I would come here fired up on a Monday morning and just go
co-host
ape, you know what, if they gave me a co instead of the regular. So, oh, man. But no.
They don't have to award you. You're already the youngest.
Yeah, you're already the youngest sports talk host in America, right?
To JW's point, not America, but in the state. To JW's point, it will be a dark day in my life when some younger kid gets hired here at this radio station or another sports talk radio station in this great state, and I can no longer say that. So at least I'll have still the best hair in Arkansas sports media. At least I can still say that.
That is debatable.
So,
no, not the best, the longest. Yeah.
Whatever works. B in Clarksville says the toe host. That's where they're going to start calling me.
The toe host.
Yeah. Oh, man. So did we figure out for this weekend, and really appreciate Walk-On's Fort Smith helping me get behind enemy lines, did we figure out if you're expensing the liquor and rum and the daiquiris this time? Like, how's that work?
No, because I know how much we've sold, and that's not going to be enough probably to cover 2 of your bar bills.
Okay.
Because, being the youngest toe host in Arkansas, you get a little wild and crazy.
But you're going down there to work. You're not going down there.
You won't have time for that.
You don't have time to drink or partake.
Till 9:01.
No, brother, you're working all weekend. No,
you're there to cover the games, right? I mean, you got to have a scorebook, the whole bit.
I think kid host is a better
That's
term.
a great one.
Here's a great final question. Clay, could Ty even keep a baseball scorebook if he had to? Could he be the official scorer for one game?
I could do anything I set my mind to. That helps with being.
The answer is no.
So what does 6 to 4 to 3 mean?
Wheels are
double play.
Want you to seek out all the